We are, in fact, live. All right. Remember, no fighting. No fighting. Like
No fighting.
that was me pointing at you, Tyler. That was me pointing at you, Sam. No horse racing. No cocaine. It's not
What
just
about
that he
fortune telling?
no fortune telling. No, no. I actually think he says no telling fortunes, but he says, and he specifically says that to like the most pikey member of the family.
Telling fortunes?
But like, it's not that he says no cocaine. It's the fact that he says like cocaine.
I love the cocaine. I love the cocaine.
I have been sent a screenshot from the newest season of Righteous Gemstones, wherein Uncle Baby Billy says, "Thank God for this cocaine." And I mean, I'm gonna watch the season like all in one go, but let me grab it and send it to our group chat. It's God bless this cocaine. I was trying to recommend to the friend that sent that. I was trying to recommend that they watch the Fallout TV show. And I said, good old Walton Goggins is in it. Good old Walter Goggles. And where are my matches? What'd you do with my matches? Anyway, they responded, "Isn't like half his face missing?" I was like, "No, it's there. It's there."
You can still tell it's him.
But
You tell him to watch the old Justified too.
now that is the thing. I don't know if that friend would like Justified. Because it's a good show. This is gonna start. That's gonna be how I put people on blast. Like, oh yeah, Sam, don't bother watching that. And then he's like, "Why?" I'd be like, "Oh, because it's a good show, and you don't watch those."
I mean, I am the resident Hunter the Reckoning enjoyer.
Well, no, you're the resident not watcher of things. Okay, let me turn off my starting soon thing, fade it in. All right, stream. All right, we're doing the Shigarath quest. Actually, hang on, let me check my settings. I think there was an update, and I just want to make sure my... Yeah,
What is it, Moto? Have you come to do business with Shigarath?
Have you come to do business with Shigarath? Wouldn't it be really funny if they told Wes Johnson, "Okay, we need you to randomly say the name like this." And when he's like, "Why?" It's like, "Okay, so back in Morrowind, we said it was Shigarath. But we have decided now that that's not how it's said." Also, if I'm not mistaken, in the original version of Oblivion, like release Oblivion, pre Game of the Year, pre Shivering Isles DLC, I'm pretty sure Sheogorath has a different voice actor. Like, that's not Wes Johnson.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's the original voice actor from Morrowind, but it is a different voice actor. Sorry, I'm just grabbing all these alchemy ingredients.
Yeah, before the Wes Johnson.
I actually learned something. A lot of the new voice acting that they did for this remaster, it's actually people who worked on... Sorry, quest added, a door in Nibbin Bay. I found a strange door in Nibbin Bay. Cool. Very cool, me. Thank you. No, but yeah, the voice actors that they added are people who have worked on Fallout 4 and Starfield. So they're kind of like known. Like I want to say they added like straight up the Skyrim Dunmer voice actor. Which, I mean, people talk about the change between the Dunmer voice actor between Morrowind and Oblivion, and you can kind of excuse it away as, well, the reason why they all sound like that in Morrowind is because they live under the mountain, which is constantly spewing out ash. So that's why they all have bronchitis.
They all sound like they've been smoking for hundreds of years.
They're all like, Outlander, I told you, I told you, I told you to bring me Marlboro Reds. How obvious is it that these are the white and gold packaging? Swit.
Wit derogatory.
You all, I'm pretty sure I might still have that image of Viper.
Yeah.
But he's Vivek.
And
it's you all. It's because remember, it's not y'all. It's Yule. It's YOU apostrophe LL. Yule cowards don't even smoke crack, so it's you all. Yule cowards don't even smoke skooma.
No, go away. I'm not here.
Just talk to this Khajiit, and she says, "No, go away. I'm not here." All right, let's talk.
Apparently, there's a Khajiit voice line where it's just a male Khajiit saying, "I hate my life," and I just want so desperately to trigger that.
Stay back. This one's violent.
Sorry, Wes Johnson's out here protecting the door to the Wes Johnson DLC in the Wes Johnson game.
Stay away. Let's get this old fool.
This,
I'd stay back from that door if I were you. Nothing that's gone in has come out right.
Okay, he is doing a different voice here, though.
I don't know where it came from, and I don't want to. Those who've gone in have come back out wrong. I'm just here to warn folks to stay away.
What happened?
Look for yourself.
Wow.
Their brains are addled. Got no sense. Perfectly normal people went in there. And this is what's come out. Ha! It's your funeral. I'm just here to warn people, not keep them out. Go ahead in. I'll be here to clean up the mess when you come out.
So, speaking of voice acting, Sam, I'm gonna kind of ruin something for you.
Okay.
You know the whole thing about David Hayter drinking like a ton of whiskey and smoking cigars or whatever to do the snake voice?
Oh, I've known that. That's not been exactly right.
Oh no, it's just not true.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all, because like those are like very specific things to not do.
It says the door won't. Hang on.
Shame he's dead. These things happen.
Oh, okay.
Much like if you make money using your voice, it's like those are like two of the 10 commandments of that, of like do not drink and do not smoke.
Why is it delivering these lines so...
Come in. It's lovely in the aisles right now.
It's delivering the lines so slow. Like, I go to enter the door, and it's like, you cannot enter the door right now. And it's because Shea Agorath has, like, 5 voice lines he needs to say, and they're all spaced out. Oh, that reminds me. I was watching...
Oh, yeah, it's set to Disco Elysium, though.
Oh my gosh, don't do that to me. Just every line in Disco Elysium is delivered like it has Modder's egomania.
Speed.
I'm talking to our boy Haskell. Oh, by the way, something I learned.
That Haskell's a real one?
When you put your cursor on an NPC and it's round and has like a face on it, that NPC's killable. But if the cursor is a crown, that's an essential NPC.
Huh.
Yes, what can I do for you? I imagine you're here about the
I
door.
would have never guessed.
Tell me about this door, Haskell.
Yes, you have entered, and now you are here.
Just watch Simplicia the Slow do a
Truly.
360 while walking for no
You
apparent
approach
reason.
the Shivering Isles.
I can't wait to
Through the
see this
door behind
animation.
me lies the realm of Sheogorath, Prince of Madness, Lord of the Never There.
Lord of the Never There.
I am Haskell, Chamberlain to the Lord Sheogorath.
Why did that door appear in Cyrodiil?
Because my lord wills it to be so.
Pyrodile.
It poses no danger to Mundus. No compact has been violated. It is a doorway, an invitation. Perhaps you will accept it for what it is.
And the people outside?
They entered this realm and were ill prepared. Their minds are now the property of my lord.
How can they be cured?
Cured? You speak as if they are diseased. They live now in another state of being. Perhaps it is you who needs a cure.
What do you want with me?
For you? I do not know. My lord seeks a mortal to act as his champion. As for his intent, to attempt to fathom it is a foolish endeavor. His will is his own. His reality follows suit. You are here because you chose to enter. You were not summoned.
That is true. All right, what happens now?
You do as you will. You may leave the way you entered. Your life will be none the worse for your time spent here. Or you may continue onward through the door behind me. If you can pass the gates of madness, perhaps the Lord Sheogorath will find a use for you.
And if I go through the door?
Who is to say? There are always choices to be made. The realm of madness is no different in that regard. Your choices are your own. Enter or do not, but make your decision. I've other duties to which I must attend. Speak with me again when you have made up your mind.
I shouldn't have. Just let me in.
Well,
Let me in.
Have you made up your mind?
Let me in.
The tension is almost palpable. Fine. I'm sure my lord will be most pleased, assuming you ever manage to see him. You'll want to pass through the gates of madness. Oh, and mind the gatekeeper. He dislikes strangers to the realm. Enjoy your stay.
All right, we got to see the animation. There it goes.
Suddenly you realize, in order to reach the Shivering Isles, you need a rope.
No. I was watching Warlocracy's video about Fallout 1, and he was going to the Glow, and he was talking about stocking up on radiation medicine, and then he says, also don't forget to take a rope, and I thought of you. Okay, so the color grading here, the saturation, this looks more like Morrowind than I remember it looking like. Oh man, I'm gonna get so many alchemy ingredients. Oh yeah, so Tyler, this PC.
Yep.
How much RAM do it have? 16 or 32?
No idea.
Great, thank
16 is sounding correct,
you. Right,
but maybe I set it up with 16 in the first two and then added more.
perhaps. Well, the reason why I
I'd have to
asked,
look at it.
I have had performance issues with this game that are completely on UE5. Like they are, UE5 has like memory leak problems, but I was running the game on medium, and the second time I had a crash, it was essentially saying it was a memory issue with the graphics card, and it suggested lowering the graphics. So I lowered it to low, which still looked fairly good. It's just the kind of issue I had playing on low was like signs for shops and stuff just wouldn't render until you were like a foot away from them. And like even then, like you'd walk up to them and you'd stare at it for a few seconds and then it would render.
So just like real life.
Yeah, it's like me with my glasses off. But here's the thing though. There was an update for the game a couple days ago that when it updated, it just reset all of my settings. So it put all of the graphic settings back to medium, and it put my audio settings back to 10, which I cannot do with this game in my like earbuds. It was just blowing my ears out. Anyway, the game has been running pretty fine on medium. To put it in perspective, this PC case is pretty like generously big. Like you built it like it's got plenty of room for airflow and everything. On medium, the day the game came out, it was hot. The case was hot enough to burn my leg, basically. Like it was hot.
Were all the dust screens clean?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, yeah. Or as far as I'm aware, yes. Because I did, when I moved things around most recently, I did wipe down the case pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'll give it another look. But anyway, it was hot. And you know how I have this table that all my stuff is set on? The PC is sitting underneath, like partially underneath one end of the table. And it was like there was essentially just a pocket of hot air under this. So my legs were always sweating. It's just really awful. All right, so when that update hit, and it reset all my settings, I didn't notice until I was walking around. I was like, wait a second, this stuff isn't low level of detail. And then I looked at the graphics settings, and sure enough, it was set to medium again. And the PC is not hot at all. Well, I mean, it's warm, but it's not hot. And it's no hotter than it was when I played Starfield. So, yeah, it's such a weird thing to think that it was on the game's end. Like, it was the game's fault the PC was running hot. But another thing is, when it changed the settings, do you know what it defaulted the frame rate as?
30.
Uncapped.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
And when you have a monitor that only supports 60 as far as I know, there's no point in running it at 120, let alone uncapped. But I'm getting screen tearing. And I was going to ask, because I have no idea what causes screen tearing. But
screen tearing is like can be a VSync issue. Like I found that if I have VSync on, and as long as my refresh rate for my computer and the frame rate for the game I'm running are the same, that it's not nearly as bad. But that's like VSync sometimes can fix it.
okay. Can I change that? I can't. VSync is off. And now I've switched it to match refresh rate. Let's give it a few minutes to be able to determine. It may have fixed it. So far it's looking like it did. Anyway, I get screen tearing pretty bad in Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5. But nowhere else.
No.
But anyway, I've been having screen tearing, and the reason why I was asking what causes it, because it doesn't show up on my streams. Like, if you watch my stream footage, at least you don't see it like it is on, like, in front of me.
Right. In that case, then it's the monitor, quote unquote, and the computer not communicating.
Yeah. But
Which
yeah,
is why the
turning on
VSync
VSync seems to have fixed it.
But that does also lock the frame rate at whatever it's.
Yeah, I already had it locked at 60 because I don't need the game to run at 120 when I don't have a 120 hertz monitor, as far as I know. I actually don't really have any complaints about this monitor, other than I need a second one of similar size. I need a second one of similar size sitting right next to it. Because this whole having a monitor at a right angle of your other monitor is stupid.
Just have a really big monitor.
No. Alright. I think also one of the things I want to do on this run through the Shivering Isles is maybe explore the whole thing. Kind of a no stone left unstoned.
No turn left unstoned.
Indeed. What is that? It's like a Komodo dragon. I don't remember those. I just got paralyzed by this stupid archer.
Got hit with the paralyzer.
So, Tyler, you know how Sam will do that thing where he, like, repeatedly says something? I've figured out how I can tolerate it. He has to send me money. Like a swear jar. Like, remember when we were playing Battlefront 2? And
Watch those wrist rockets.
no, every 30 seconds, Sam said, Darth Vader. Because somebody would be playing Darth Vader. And we'd be like, oh, look out, there's Darth Vader. And then Sam would say, Darth Vader. Just Sam, you're like a soundboard.
Yeah. But also, with Paralyzer, I have a secret technique. I can plausibly claim that I am actually referencing the song Paralyzer by Finger 11.
Except, I don't think you're saying it like that.
Well, that time I just said Paralyzer.
No, but most of the times you say, like...
Paralyzer!
Yeah, you're saying it like it's from a fighting game.
Yeah, it's like Betty in Kung Pao Into the Fist. He's like,
okay.
Paralyzer.
See, with you never know. It's like there's a 50-50 chance it's from Kung Pao Into the Fist.
50-50? Try 70-30.
More like 60-20. This is when you say, what's the other 20%?
I mean, the other 20% could be anything. It could even be a boat.
The other 20% is fighting games. No. It's worse. It's like the other 20% is fighting games you've never played.
Or have not played nearly enough to justify.
Yeah.
Enjoy them.
Dude, Noah was, man, I want to get a Dark Souls tattoo, but I really want to play the game so I can at least earn it. And I was like, I get what you mean. Because he was just talking about like a simple, essentially a bonfire tattoo.
Yeah.
Kind of like you know how the like loading icon is a bonfire?
Yeah.
He was basically saying that. And I was like, oh yeah, that could be a completely fine tattoo. But he would if he gets it after only playing Dark Souls 3, I'm going to make comments about it every time I see him. Because that's not earning it. Shivering Isles looks great. Yeah, it does. What I was saying when I first walked in here was, this looks like Morrowind. Like, if they do a Morrowind remaster in the vein of this remaster, here's what it'll look like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like in some ways, like Shivering Isles was a return to not so much like Vardenfell's aesthetics,
Mm-hmm.
but the having the space for things to just be weird.
Yeah,
man.
It to me it does have. It is aesthetically similar to Vardenfell, which has.
Oh, but it has trees.
It has trees. I was trying to work in. It has trees, unlike Vardenfall, because it was about the 10th time I heard that I got over my exasperation at what he was saying to realize he was pronouncing it wrong. It has trees, unlike Vardenfall, and it was just like, did you play Morrowind? Or did you know Morrowind from, like, screenshots?
Oh, dang. Morrowind just hardcore. Morrowind just
We're Morrowinding so hard right now.
I wish.
Also, putting skooma in the water, making the Grumites gay. That's what Jonathan said in my chat here.
Based. They're putting skooma in the water.
They're putting skooma in the water. I can't. If I get too aggressive with my Alex Jones impression, I will hurt my throat.
Well, you got to anyway, man.
Okay, so remember when I was talking about how the last time I played Oblivion, I didn't level very high because I just kind of... There was like whole bits of content I didn't do. I don't remember fighting enemies here called Replete Shambles.
No, but they're so replete, though.
When they die, they're like causing ice storms.
Hey, man, they're replete with ice.
I'm having to shoot so many arrows. Also, I've been really enjoying archery in this game, but when I was doing Knights of the Nine yesterday and the day before, I was actually playing. Well, since I was playing a knight character, I said, okay, I'm gonna do blunt, blade, and hand-to-hand. And I ended up getting my hand-to-hand to 50 before I completed the quest, because I wanted to be able to punch ghosts.
Understandable.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to punch ghosts? Well, I tried to fist fight Umaril, and I'll just explain that even at level like 9, fist fighting Umaril did not work.
I could have told you that for free.
As in, because of like the enchantments on his stuff, and he just absolutely handed it to me. And then when I loaded back in after dying, I just switched to the Sword of the Crusader and beat him very handedly.
Well, I'm pretty sure that some of that was due to, technically speaking, if you don't have one of the weapons of the Crusader equipped, he doesn't get the debuff from you having all the pieces of the Crusader's relics equipped.
It's like you can defeat him without any of it.
Yeah, it's just...
It's not even... Well, at least in original Oblivion, it's not even that hard.
Yeah. It's just, why would you make it harder than it has to be?
Well, and I think it's one of those things where it's actually like, if you've been engaging with the crafting, enchanting, stuff like that, that it actually won't be that hard because your gear is good. But if you just roll in there wearing basic armor with basic weapons, you
just roll in there with your sackcloth set and wrist irons all enchanted with chameleon.
No. You roll in there with your wrist iron, sackcloth pants, Mythic Dawn robe, and hood. That post where it was like, that post that was like MFs really walked out of the Imperial sewers in 2006 thinking this was the fit.
This was the fit. It's just this hot. He's got the Mythic Dawn hood, leather armor, cuirass, iron greaves.
Okay, I think I'm starting to have frame rate issues. Okay, I think I have thoroughly explored this area leading up, or this area like around Passwall. The Wastrel's Purse. See, even this town feels like a town from Morrowind in that, like, because it's like on the water.
Yeah.
And it's these
But
weird
no
looking
one just hurling racial slurs at you unprovoked.
Oh, I can fix that real quick. I can be the Dudmer hurling racial slur. I still think one of my best organic accidental roleplay moments on this character was walking past two NPCs that were like, I hear they outlawed slavery in Morrowind, and I reflexively went, what? I had stocks tied up in that.
Oh man, I just every now and then I'll hear is like, more bad news from the provinces. I hear the
Nerevarine has, like...
I can hear the bones talking.
Oh yeah,
not even hear
Jared
about
Ice
that.
Veins just said I can hear the bones talking, and it's just like, it kind of sounded like you doing a voice for a second. Okay,
This is like where we all somehow find out that Jared Ice Vein is like a sliver of my personalities.
what is this? Wearing the Crusaders relics while fighting Umaril does the same thing to him that fighting Kanye with a Kim Kardashian mask does to Kanye. Is that
one of those,
did
like,
somebody
he's not even wrong.
No, I'm like, did somebody
Like, I mean, you're out of line, but you're right.
Oh, that dude's full ebony plate running in there. He's going for it.
And he's still gonna get handled by the gatekeeper.
Well, yeah, mostly because he just did a power attack at the foot of the stairs, and he's not even... He's not even in melee range.
I mean, yeah, man.
Then this dude's out here shirtless.
That's
hey,
the Shivering Isles if
hey,
I've ever been to.
Hey, where are you going, Gatekeeper? Oh, unironically, where's the Gatekeeper going?
Well, man, he just goes places. Don't worry about what he's doing. He's
Oh.
keeping that gate.
What's the lore here? Dude, and the dude in ebony plate's running him down. Chad Gatekeeper, yeah.
Gatekeeper
no.
really do be out here keeping the gate.
I need to... Alright, I'm going to make my first mod for an Elder Scrolls game. And it's going to be the Gatekeeper here at the Shivering Isles says, not only am I a gatekeeper... Crap, what does she say? Not only am I...
A gatekeeper and a hater.
That's it, hater. Not only am I a gatekeeper and a hater, but I am also I'm God's favorite princess.
I am Shigarath's favorite prince.
What is happening, Oblivion? This dude's out here with a glass claymore, swinging. He's just swinging on the gatekeeper without hitting. He's playing Morrowind at level 1, and he put no points into Blade.
So, getting attacked. Oh, it can paralyze you. Oh, I underestimated the spiderlings.
This is... Oh, this is an occurrence.
Oh no, the Shivering Isles is just a crap show from start to finish by design. That's why I love it.
So the Gatekeeper is now running back up to the gate while I pelt him with arrows, and I'm not seeing his health bar move.
Yeah.
Alright, hang on. Let me get some of these enchanted arrows that I got doing the... What does this one do? Okay, so I don't like that I have to hit, like, H to see what an enchantment on something is. and then hit C to actually see what the enchantment is. It's like you hit H to see the details, and it's just like, enchanted. And it's like, well, what's the enchantment? It's like, I don't know, hit C. Okay, is there a trick to this that I don't remember? What? So I'm hitting him with arrows that... Okay, maybe... Okay, hang on. What's the best arrows I've got? Daedric?
Have you... I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do something to weaken him first. Like, he may straight up be invincible.
The formidable gatekeeper has destroyed a party of adventurers. I should talk to the residents of Passwall before trying to deal with this. Okay, so it's it may shock you to know that the Gamebryo engine is very bad.
Because I was sitting, as you were talking, I was like, am I losing my mind? I'm pretty sure the gatekeeper's invincible until you trigger a certain step in that quest.
Well, no, see, that's the thing is, I was like, isn't there a trick to this? But I'm like doing no damage to him, but he's just like, and right now he's running down into the town of Passwall because he's hostile to me. Good grief. It's because of how they do quest stages. 2 paths, you either get bone arrows from Jared, Ice Veins, or get the creator of the Gatekeeper to cry and collect her tears.
Yes. Because she'll meet the Gatekeeper late at night and start crying, and she'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
Bro, I thought you were
Get
dead.
away from me.
Where are you going, buddy?
My tears hurt you."
This is a real orc warrior right here, running away from battle.
I mean,
that's like that. I think it's
if I had to fight the Gatekeeper.
I think it's Malakath's quest in Skyrim, where it's like you come across this tribe of orcs that like have abandoned Malakath worship or whatever, and that has one of my favorite just little moments in Skyrim, because what happens is the orc chieftain that you meet up with and go through the
garden with,
go through that garden with, that giant where it's like full of giants, he runs into 1v1 the giant, and he just gets he joins the Skyrim space program.
Oh yeah. Or even better, he'll be like, "Hey, actually, I'm too much of a panty waste to fight this guy. Can you do it for me?" And if you do, he's like, "Cool, thanks. I'm gonna kill you now." Which is, to me, one, I love that because it's like, you didn't think about this, like, at all, did you? But also, like, I don't even think it's like that they even started neglecting Malakath worship. It's that the chieftain neglected actually like watching over like that specific garden, and like Malakath took great exception to that and was like, "Yo, because Malakath is such a not Malakath, but that chieftain is such a pansy, I'm just not gonna really pay attention to you guys anymore until y'all correct this behavior." And when he dies, Malakath's like, "Good, he was a sissy anyway."
So the reason why this adventurer is wearing all steel armor except for the chest piece is because the chest piece was broken. I just really need the Gatekeeper to stop being aggro to me. No orcs, no dogs, no grummites. No women, no children. Okay, where is he?
We have standards here.
He's way over there. Okay, I am way away from him, and I crouched to go into stealth, and he can spot me. It's that bug, just like when I was in combat with people in the Imperial Palace, even though I was across the country from them.
Right.
Malakath functions much like corn. It does not matter from who. Yeah, only that it flows. Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid. Like, Malakath is very results-oriented.
Well, there's an interesting thing about Korn in that of all of the legions that he corrupted, he did not corrupt the legion that is associated with blood. Like, it would be more thematically appropriate for him to have corrupted the Blood Angels. However, like, I'm pretty sure Sanguinius was incorruptible.
Yep.
Sanguinius,
Yeah,
totally not just, like, a demon in any way.
No, I mean, he was just very vain. Like, Korn
No,
tried
no,
to corrupt him
no,
and
no,
be
no,
like,
that's
nah.
Fulgrim. Fulgrim's the vain one.
Okay, well, let me backtrack. So, there's this comic that I saw once that I got a kick out of like Sanguinius being told by one of his like attendants, like, "Oh, by the way, your brother Fulgrim is here. He wanted to visit," and he's like, "Oh, Fulgrim does this every time," and he's like, he goes to shower. And he hops out, like he like wipes his face down, and then he just like hair dries his hair, and it's this long, flowing, glorious mane. And he's like, he never gives me enough like advance notice to be ready for when he gets here. I hate it. And I just really like the idea of Sanguinius as a diva.
I mean, no, but, well, okay, but the thing is, Fulgrim is the diva for sure.
And that's fair. That's fair.
There's a lot of depictions of Fulgrim where, well, there's a lot of, okay, so there's this, I don't know if this actually comes from a book or anything. Where are the residents? Are they still up here waiting for me? Anyway, I don't know if it's from a book or not. This is where Jonathan will pop in the chat and be like, actually. But there is one of the Primarchs of the White Scars. He is his name's Jagathai Khan, and he's like a Mongol warrior type. Like his legion is very much themed around like Genghis Khan and all of that. Oh baby, can't make that up. Walk into the tavern and just a plate with wine bottles on it is just jiggling, and then they just exploded off the plate.
Based.
Hello.
Meanwhile, I just, without thinking about it, tried to pickpocket off of this character who was a member of the Mage Guild Council, but like, it's the quest where they betray you. I failed the pickpocket and got notified. I have stolen from a member of the Mage Guild, have been suspended for it.
Wait, are you doing the quest where you have to get into the wizard's tower and get something from the wizard?
No.
Like the court wizard of Breville?
No.
Okay. No, that guy is
going to get the necromancers.
That guy is 100% a member of the Mages Guild, and when he's not in his Mages Tower or at the court or at like the county like house in Breville, he'll be at the Mages Guild.
Yeah.
In full armor. He literally puts on his armor to go to the Mages Guild and then takes it off when he leaves.
Do you not?
I feel like I need to.
Anyway,
no, this is like the necromancer's amulet. I tried to pickpocket it off of her, and it's just like, I've stolen from a member of the Mages Guild and have been suspended for it. Like,
oh, that's even better. That's even better.
But I'm just sitting there, just like,
this is a character you have to kill, not steal from.
He says he's mayor.
But yes, forgive me, I forgot. Like, homicide, totally fine. Theft, unacceptable. It would be like great if it's like the Mage Guild is like, no stealing from each other. Murder is fine. This isn't the Thieves Guild, though.
So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at what this lady who runs the inn has, and she has Bernice's summer wine, and all I could think was Bernice, burn. Because I'm being cooked by brain rot.
What have we here? Another hopeful whose blessing hasn't fully taken root? No, I don't think so.
Just over here having to resist
an
the urge to
adventurer?
make the joke that I make about being cooked
Disgusting.
every time.
Why don't you go back the way you
Because I
came?
have a grand total of 5 jokes in my
The
rotation.
Gatekeeper is my child, the consummation of Sheogorath's wisdom.
Oh, yeah, I
and
found the
womb
Gatekeeper.
Of my genius. It was a painful and bloody birth, but well worth it.
I'm just saying,
Well,
listen.
less successful. He won't bother those
Whoever
less
worked on
privileged.
the Dunmer women's faces
You, however,
is
will
a fellow
die
Dunmer
trying to get the
enjoyer.
keys from my child.
Because they be rocking them cheekbones and them eyes.
You? No. You have a conventional
I think
taste,
all of the
but
high
I
elves look
don't.
really strange in this, though.
The Shivering Isles belong
Like their
to
eyes
the
are too close together.
Were it up to me, I'd cut you open and show you just how uninspired your blood is. No, you won't be getting in.
I will find a way.
I'm bored with you. Why don't you talk to Ninette? She likes talking. I'll need to
Fortify
cure her of that
Magicka
habit soon enough.
130
There's one
points, but
sure
it drains
way to
strength
stop a tongue
75.
from flapping.
Why would the Necromancer's
Cut it
Amulet need to
out.
drain strength?
Shall I demonstrate?
I just found this bust of Sheogorath, and it is wild. What are you doing? Oh, she's freaking out. Here, I can do that too. Anyway. Alright, we need to find... I think the easiest method is just going to be to find Jared Icevein and get the arrows from him. Okay. No, that's Sheldon, right? Come here, Sheldon.
Hello, I'm Sheldon. I've been here the longest. That's why.
I like how he's like, I've been here the longest, that's why I'm the mayor.
And because I'm the best at being in charge. Welcome to my town.
Bro, Sheldon's hair is, not looking great on medium settings.
He just looks over at you. Bazinga.
Don't
Oh
get
my
too
god.
close to
I
him.
like that you
He'll
even
kill
said that
and
wrong.
leave a mess in my town. Jared Iceveins wants to.
Whoa,
keep
whoa,
the
what?
gatekeeper.
How's that supposed to be Bazoinga?
It's Bazinga, but you didn't.
Oh, I know.
You didn't pronounce the G. You pronounced it so softly. It's like Bazinga.
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 Stingers. Their poison
Bazinga.
can be deadly. They don't like magic much, though.
I've been here the longest. Yeah, the haircut gave it away. Yeah, he's rocking some real COVID, like pandemic haircut.
I watched a haircut tutorial on YouTube.
No, you know what? You know what?
They say
Shivering Isles needs.
his body. Basically,
They wouldn't have thought to do this in 2006.
the place was
But what it
ready
needs
when I
as a
got there.
representation of
Of course,
madness
once I was
is
here,
a girl who cuts her own hair.
say I blame them.
Specifically, who cut her own bangs.
I
Oh.
hope I didn't use too many big words.
See, that's just. You see.
Is that a little too real for
Hey.
you?
No, that's just one of those. I feel like you could take that one to Sugarrath and be like, that's a madness deeper than anything even I'm capable of.
Pretty scary, isn't he? Jared's
He's like,
planning
there's
on
madness,
training.
and then there's
I don't know
just
how.
straight up being
Gatekeeper looks
insane.
indestructible.
He's rocking the Home Alone 2 Marv electrocution hair. I wish... Okay, I've got a master doing an impression of the sound he makes when he's being electrocuted. Because, like... I don't know, I seem to have developed that ability to mimic certain sounds pretty well, but sometimes I struggle. So it's like, I need to do some time in the lab on that one. It's kind of like when you're trying to nail
Why
the...
are all these mages naked? Did they like take their mage robes off and forget to put their necromancer robes on? Like, what are we
That's
doing?
that is probably it. Also, when I was doing Fighters Guild, there is a Dunmer in Coral that you work with a lot named, it's like Medrin, or something like that. Modron. It's Modron because I kept thinking.
Motrin.
Yeah, it's children's Motrin. But no, he. I was trying to steal stuff for the Thieves Guild, like to fence, and I was at his house and I stole a set of armor out of one of his chests, and I didn't realize it's the armor he wears. He takes it off and puts it in a chest when he goes to sleep. So for the entire rest of the quest line, he was just in his, like, bed clothes. So he's just shirtless wearing, like, pants.
One leads to the lands of Mania, and one to
Also,
Dementia.
Mania or Dementia, which gate should I go through?
Gets in who isn't supposed
Well, it
to.
depends. Do you think yourself more manic or demented?
Me, personally? Or my character?
Less dirty
Either
than
way.
others. I feel like I belong. That old man in the room made out of butterflies, he said to wait here. There are smiths in New Sheoth that collect amber and madness ore.
I asked him for rumors. He's like, there are smiths in New Sheoth that collect... And basically, he's talking about the madness and amber armor.
Right.
Which I'm not a huge fan of how they look.
Yes?
Where's that chick I'm supposed to talk to?
What?
Hey, come here. Nanette.
Hello? You'll need to speak up.
Net.
Mania is prettier and has better
Nanette.
dungeons.
He's Relmina's crowning achievement. The gatekeeper keeps out people who don't belong in the Shivering Isles. She made him in the gardens of flesh and bone. She's my teacher. She's going to teach me all her secrets. Oh, and this is really interesting. Wait. Never mind. My big mouth almost just got me in trouble again.
Tell me about the gardens of flesh and bone.
It's just down the road from Passwall. It's where Relmina created the gatekeeper. I'd like to tell you, but...
Right, so now what you gotta do is finish the Shivering Isles questline, then go back to Sugarrath's Daedric Shrine in Oblivion itself.
Yeah, because he has dialogue for
Yeah,
it.
because
I've been down
Haskell will be
Dale's
like, oh
Side.
yeah,
trustworthy
you left
enough,
yourself
but don't
instructions
tell Relmina
before
I said
all of
anything.
this happened.
Her gatekeeper is flawed. Her tears hurt him.
Her tears.
Her tears somehow agitate the Daedra bound to the gatekeeper's body. Her tears make it really restless. It strains harder against the warding magic. She may seem like a tough woman, but the gatekeeper makes her all weepy. Go see for yourself. She visits him every night around midnight. Just don't tell her I said anything. I might get another lesson in the nature of pain. I don't like those lessons very much.
This woman got crazy eyes. Yeah. A little bit. I think it's accentuated by the hair being pulled away from her face. And then the raised eyebrows. She definitely has the look, you know what I'm saying?
See you.
Alright. She
That
visits.
look that says, dude, it's not worth it. Even if you think it is short term, it's not.
You speak from experience?
Maybe.
No, I feel like you got your crazy girl phase out before before college. Like I'm
Arguably.
thinking of a specific girl. Why is there an invisible wall here?
That could be 3 different girls, though.
Well, this would be what. Okay, I was gonna try to narrow it down, but then I realized if any of the other ones are who I think they could be, then what I was gonna say to narrow it down wouldn't actually narrow it down.
Yeah, it would narrow it down to like maybe 2.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah, because I was gonna say like this would be somebody that I met or knew or talked to, so that would narrow it down at least to 2. But regardless, then you became the crazy girl.
Yeah, man, it's weird, but love to how the rumors AI works here, because Hannibal Traven has just talked to me about the different members of the council that have split, and how just terrible that is. And then rumors. If it's true that the guild really did split, then the guild is really in trouble. This is terrible.
No, I still think my favorite line deliveries are where it's like, "Did you hear that the chapel in Anvil was attacked?" What? Yes, indeed. I actually should have looked at OBS when I did that to see if it spiked the audio. Because I did lean back and shout at the ceiling. Alright, so like, is it just that she has to be here crying?
I'm so glad to see you, my dear child. How are you? I'm so proud of you, my child. You crush our Lord's enemies into dust. You are strong like him. I made you for him. But still he refuses me. Why? I'm sorry, child. It's just too much for me.
Nice.
I must leave now. No, you mustn't come near me when I'm crying. You remember what happened last time you touched my tears.
The sorceress has dropped a handkerchief full of her tears, which apparently can hurt the gatekeeper. I should get that handkerchief. I can also talk to Jared. Let me just, I've squeezed the handkerchief full of the sorceress's tears into a bottle. This may act as a poison to the gatekeeper. I have a limited number of doses, so I'll need to be careful using them. I can also talk to Jared about killing the gatekeeper. Like, every time I do something, I can talk to Jared. So,
Yeah, because he'll be like, hey man, the bone.
what I do is I talk to Jared, I get the bone arrows, I poison the bone arrows with the tears.
Yeah, correct.
Gatekeeper blue balls. That, you know what happened last time? And he's like, when she says it. Dude, Jared's house is full of bones, and you know he's in here making them at night. I'm about to do the classic. Wait.
You sort of like them bones, them dry bones.
Ah! I feel so alone. Gonna end up. Or, yeah, is it gonna end up a big o? Yeah, end up a big old pile of them bones.
When you take them out, you can hear them better that way too.
I'll just have to take your word for it.
I want him dead.
I've
I need him
genuinely
dead.
not ever
His
heard the
bones
song.
are
I'm
calling
just
to me.
familiar with its
Rumor has it
existence.
you want him dead too. If you're any good with a lockpick, we can help each other out. We can get into the gardens of flesh and bone.
If I'm any good with a lockpick.
They say the gatekeeper's magical. I don't believe in magic.
This Nord.
but I do believe in bones.
They say the gatekeeper's magical. I don't believe in magic, but I do believe in bones.
I can see the bones of a dead gatekeeper
Well, man,
in the courtyard.
Jaren is nothing if not on
The
brand.
door's locked, though.
Okay, Sam, don't answer this. Because you should know the answer.
Then I'll make some arrows and
This
we'll
is for
kill
the chat.
gatekeeper. Sound good?
What mental illness or what mental condition defined in the DSM does Jared Iceveins have? So Tyler, your hint,
Chat, am I?
your hint for this question is this man is very much obsessed with bones. Like, he keeps talking about bones because he's really obsessed with bones. He's all about them bones.
Here,
But he's like
this lock
weirdly
is
obsessed with them.
It's the only one I've got. You
He gave me a single lockpick. He's like, be careful, it's the only one I got. So fun fact, he ran out of
was it
here.
fashioned out of a bone?
Fun fact, he ran out of here. So now I can just loot the madness ore and amber that's in his house. His cupboard of food had everything you need. Beer and corn and an onion. So, in Patrician TV's 12-hour Oblivion video, when he's talking about the Shivering Isles, he talks about different NPCs and their potential mental conditions. And he said the best guess he has for Jared Iceveins is that he's autistic.
Mainly because of his fixation on the bones.
Jared has ligma. Who is Steve Jobs? See, that's my favorite thing to do whenever somebody brings up ligma, is to just skip to the Steve Jobs part.
Who the heck is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
Mm.
We just rolled up in here and he's like, I don't know why I just shot an arrow. He's like, I can hear the bones talking.
From these gatekeeper bones.
Sam, have you noticed?
Some arrows.
Have you noticed sometimes that you will be facing an NPC, they'll walk up to you, and you know they're going to grab your camera, and it spins your camera like 180 degrees? Like, you are facing them, they're facing you, but when they do the Bethesda camera grab, it starts you pointing behind you and rotates you all the way around.
I have not experienced that personally.
I've
but
had
that
it a
feels
lot.
Very real.
Alright.
The arrows aren't ready yet.
I have to come back later for the
Best way to
arrows.
kill a skinned hound is with a fireball or a good weapon.
Interestingly, all of these...
Those bones want out.
Those bones want out. Interestingly, all of these NPCs, when asked about rumors, have told me about ways to kill enemies that are added in the DLC. Like, he just told me the best way to kill a specific...
A little Nord girl.
I'm actually pretty sure he has the same voice actor as that guy.
I mean, is it a Nord? 'Cause
Yeah.
If so, then yes.
No, I want to say it's like the Nords and the Orcs.
Orcs.
The male Orcs and male Nords. Alright, what am I waiting on? What did he say? I should see him in a few hours. I'm gonna wait until it's like morning time.
Ooh, a Falconstone.
Okay, so I had an interesting moment when I was watching The Hobbit 1977. The voice of Bilbo Baggins is an actor whose last name was Bean. And I said, there's no way. Like, could this be Sean Bean's dad? No, it's an American guy. And it, like, no relation. And... well, no, sorry. Misread that. Anyway, he, dude, that movie sucked. But,
yeah,
like, no, like, what it was like, it was a very decent, concise telling of The Hobbit.
The arrows are ready. Here are some for you. Let's go kill.
Alright, hang
Let's
on.
go.
Yeah, like the... where are the bone arrows? Gatekeeper bone arrow, okay. And then... where... sorry, I just zoned out for a second. There we go.
Zoned out thinking about killing a little Nord girl at her birthday party.
Killed a little Nord girl at her birthday party. It's just, like, I'm gonna make my second Elder Scrolls mod.
Cyrodiilic Psycho.
My second Elder Scrolls mod is going to be just every time you go talk to that guy to ask his advice for a job in the Dark Brotherhood questline, he just says, I don't know, but one time I had to kill a little Nord girl at her birthday party. She asked me if I was the jester. I told her no. She won't be living to see 6 years old.
And just the one, like, oh, your heart is always in the right place.
You'll never take me down.
I paralyzed the gatekeeper.
Nice. He seems to be struck by you.
Oh yeah, so you know how there you go. You did it, Sam. No.
Yeah.
You know
We need to get through the gates of madness.
He seems to be struck by
Let's
you.
go.
Jared said, "We need to get through the gates of madness. Let's go kill the gatekeeper." Immediately after I looted the gatekeeper's corpse.
The gatekeeper is
Ooh,
slain.
a Barla step.
Congratulations. The honor of taking the keys from his corpse is yours. As soon as you get those doors unlocked, I'm going in.
All right.
Those bones want out.
I have both the key to mania and the key to dementia. I can go through either door of the gates of madness. The gates of madness. Killed a little Nord girl. Had her burnt.
Madness.
Mania, yeah. You must speak with Haskell first.
So,
Oh my gosh!
managed to kill the gatekeeper.
I found Haskell.
Pity. Well, you'll now be able to enter the realm proper. You'll notice there are 2 doors.
Yes, I did notice that.
One leads to the lands of mania, the other to dementia. Enter through either one. The lands are quite distinct, but both are Sheogorath's domain. You'll want to seek out Lord Sheogorath. I believe he has plans for you. Try not to disappoint him. The lands of mania are bright, vibrant, and full of color. You'll find its inhabitants reflect the land itself. If you wish to meet the residents of Mania, you will find them in the settlements of Hale and Highcross. Take care, though. Though the citizens and creatures of Mania are colorful, they can often be quite deadly. I'm sure you can handle it, though.
I like Haskell's
Enlightening, as always.
borderline mocking tone.
Oh yeah, man. He is just.
He's like,
He's just
"Oh,
tired.
good, you did it. I bet you're so proud." Okay.
I still just love his like. Oh, good. He taught you how to summon me, did he?
Can you summon him outside of the Shivering Isles?
I believe so. Yes. I do think like he'll remark about how since it's not the Isles, he can't really do anything for you, but I do think you can summon him. I could be mistaken though.
Oh yeah, so another thing I was going to point out about if you're trying to 100% this game or like go for platinum, the Shivering Isles is the only part of the game with a missable trophy. What are you doing, buddy? You running? He's stimming. No, you know how in the main quest line you hit a point where you have to either deal with the Duke of Mania or the Duke of Dementia and like you become like their replacement? Yeah, so there's a trophy for both of those. Or there's a trophy for each of them rather. So you have to make a save. What is that? Oh, it's an Elytra Matron. Oh my gosh. I paralyzed it and it's floating. Oh, speaking of paralysis, there is a known bug in this game where applying 2 stacks of paralysis to an enemy will crash the game.
Maybe that's why the game crashed on me earlier. As I was hitting them with my spell that paralyzes while inflicting weakness to magic and then all 3 element types before I hit them with my elemental strike.
There's the telltale shimmer.
Of the Isles.
There's the Isles that are shivering.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're just
frame rate.
shimmering there. Menacingly.
I just killed the creature from the Black Lagoon. Alright.
Oh yeah, that little Nord girl.
No. Okay. So, yeah, so if you're doing 100%, you have to make a hard save at the point where you're going to kill, or the point where you're tasked with choosing, basically, and then you have to go back to that save So that's something I have to remember because I am going to 100% this. And I just crashed the game by applying paralysis.
Are you surprised that you applied paralysis and the game froze? Stopped?
The game, I paralyzed the game.
Yeah.
Alright, I have to actually launch it from... So another thing is, sometimes it just won't launch from the Xbox app at all.
Nice.
And then, like, you click it, and it's almost the same bug as what happens with GOG, where you try to launch a game from Galaxy and it just crashes immediately. It's the same thing. And then, if you try to launch it from the executable on your computer, it just launches every time. And I was telling y'all about the issues I was having with Temple of Elemental Evil. As I was trying to get it to work in widescreen so that I could record it. I mean, I can still record it, it's just going to have bars on the sides of it. And actually, what I'm thinking is, if I make that video about Temple of Elemental Evil, I'm going to just get a bunch of footage of the bad, quote-unquote, version of the game, without the patches and all that stuff, and then do most of the review with the mods on there. Because I'm a firm believer that if you're doing a review or analysis of a game, you should play that game and not the modded version of that game. Unless the mods are what make the game playable. Did the game just crash again? Oh, nope, it's trying. It's like loading.
Trying to run or trying to crash?
Both.
Because, yeah, I was going to say, both are equally likely.
Both are equally likely with Gamebryo. Somehow, I have actually only had one of the classic... Every Gamebryo engine game, if I'm not mistaken, every one of them does it. I know the Fallout games will do it because it's done it. I know Starfield will do it because it... Well, I'll get to that. It's the infinite loading screen crash. And what it is like you'll go through a door, and when it does the loading screen, I have to wait for the paralysis to stop on this enemy before I kill it. Anyway, yeah, you go through like a door, you hit the loading screen, and it just never stops loading. And New Vegas is really bad about it. And part of me wonders if that's just because Obsidian wasn't as familiar with the quirks of the engine, so maybe they weren't aware of that crash, so they didn't find a workaround for it. Like maybe Bethesda had figured out a workaround for it, but it wasn't fixed at an engine level. But when it would do it in Starfield, I would realize it was happening, because it happened to me probably 10 or 15 times across the course of my playthrough. I would realize it was happening, and I'd go, ugh, and I would Alt-Tab, because that's one of the only ways out of it, and just hitting Alt-Tab would fix the issue. Which is rare, because Gamebryo engines hate Alt-Tabbing. Like, they will just straight up not let you Alt-Tab.
It's like, are you Alt-Tabbing in my neighborhood?
Well, like, because this is running on UE5, I can actually pause the game and take my mouse over to my second monitor. You cannot do that if you are running full screen. If you're running any of their other games in full screen. You have to run it in windowed to be able to do that. Like the Fallout stream or Fallout New Vegas streams I was doing, I was running those in windowed mode so that I would have control.
Like windowed borderless? Or
No, because this runs in borderless windowed if you look at the settings, but normal Gamebryo games do not have a borderless windowed option. You have to download a mod to do that. Which, where is this? There is an enemy in a rock. In a rock that is aggroed to me. The game is actively falling apart. Also, I forgot that there is an alchemy ingredient in the Shivering Isles called black tar. Just harvesting some black tar heroin.
All day.
Grummite. Hold on. Grummite Magus Painbringer. I'm gonna need you to calm down, game. Oh man, I'm getting real big Point Lookout vibes.
Oh, did you get lobotomized and kidnapped?
Not yet. I do love how the Shivering Isles map is vaguely shaped like a brain and spinal cord. I always like the idea that you are in Sheogorath's brain somewhere fighting his gay thoughts.
His gay thoughts, like, I should be organized.
I was going to make a comment or make a joke about that, but I think like every gay person I've ever known was pretty chaotic anyway. Like not like a super organized person. Oh, look at that. Oh, I thought that was an arrow. It was a dragonfly.
Alright, it is time to confront the King of Worms.
The King of Worms and his diet.
Indeed.
What if you got there and it was unironically Martin Luther?
That'd be wild. Like, I would just be like, I'm honestly not sure what to do with this information.
Yeah, I guess I could see how this is kind of like a brain, and this here's the medulla oblongata. Isn't that how you say it, Tyler? No, okay. There's a part of the human brain that...
Yeah, that was more or less how you say it.
No, there's a part of the human brain called the AM...
Amygdala.
See, okay.
Yeah, the amygdala.
Not the amygdala.
No, that's the chick from Star Wars.
No, that's the chick, quote-unquote, from Bloodborne.
Oh, amygdala.
Because, yeah, he says amygdala, not amygdala.
Have pity.
Good old Patches the Spider.
Spooter pooches.
Spooter pooches.
Just sending people to their certain doom. Yeah, like, you ever just be in a defiled chalice dungeon and get one shot by the amygdala's laser beams of sadness? I have. Multiple times, in fact.
I haven't, because I hated the chalice dungeons.
So I actually liked the chalice dungeons, but I totally understand why.
You didn't try to platinum the game.
I did. I successfully platinumed the game, in fact.
I feel like you're lying to get clout on the internet. I think you're trying to take Daniel's claim to fame.
No, I would never. Because Dan actually platinumed Demon Souls and, like, earned it, like, the hard way, and I would never be able to do that.
What? Are you sure? One of them, he summoned somebody to get the weapons.
Well, okay, no,
I don't
like,
remember which one
like,
it was, though.
So, that, to me, doesn't really bother me.
Well, no, it doesn't bother me either. It doesn't take away from the fact that he platinumed it. It's just
Sure,
it's just like, when you say the hard way, that's the hard way.
He farmed Bladestone, like pure.
You're right. You're right. No. You're right, because I remember this. Like, I remember him talking about farming Bladestone.
Yeah, because it's this absurdly just in OG Demon Souls, which is why he wasn't like actually mad, of course, because like he's not 40 years old. But when I was like, guys, I got a piece of pure Bladestone, and he's like, no, you modded that in.
Yeah, because you got it. It was like
way too early.
It was like the first or second run on farming it, basically.
Yeah, I was just like, I wasn't even trying to farm it either.
Yeah. No, I think
It was just
you were farming souls in that area, and you just got it as a drop, and it was just
like, heck yeah, I don't have to worry about this ever again.
Yeah, because that is like the drop rate on that is obscenely low.
Oh, bad, don't you?
Patches is such a good character. I think I'm only familiar with Patches in the context of the Souls series. Like, I don't know how he is characterized in Armored Core. But Patches is definitely one of the things missing from Dark Souls 2. Now, before you say it, Sam, I know that there are two characters that are functionally Patches inserts.
I wasn't even going to say that. Like, genuinely. That,
okay.
Yeah, that
I just wanted to... I was just trying to head off the actually of Pate and Crichton. Or Creighton. It's Creighton.
Creighton.
I thought you were heading off a Clarence Carter reference.
You're going to have to explain yourself.
With Patches.
Yeah, that's one.
You're going to have to explain yourself.
You were not... Weren't you just talking about Patches?
Okay, please explain to me who Clarence Carter is and the relation to Patches. Thank you.
Clarence Carter recorded a song called Patches. That's the Patches, I'm depending on you, son.
I have no familiarity with this.
Yeah, this is one of those. You're
all right then.
Okay, hold on a second. You just pulled a I don't know what you're talking about, and you just repeated the thing you said that I don't know, like that was supposed to explain it.
Yep. That was I failed to realize that I was addressing an entire hole in your repertoire.
Is this like old country song? Is this like something they would...
Naming conventions like that, it's either country or rap.
I was gonna say, is this like is this one of those... Is this something that would be played on Willie's Roadhouse? I hear something... Whoa! I just got like full-on first Stalker game scared by a ravenous hunger.
Were you told to get out of there first?
Get out of your Stalker. That's what would end the war in Ukraine.
That's everyone coming together. And
Zelensky,
like, okay,
Zelensky just has to go to the Kremlin and say, "Get out of here, Putin."
I do not.
I would honestly, I would respect that.
I just like how... I don't want to get political on this channel, but I'm gonna say I liked how people were so hung up on how he was dressed in the White House, and not one person acknowledged that he cussed out the president and vice president to their faces, but he did it in Russian, so no one cares.
Oh no! They did it to Trump and Vance, so it was actually good that he cussed them out. So that's why.
Well, no, I mean like the dumb conservatives didn't. What is that? Elder Gnarl? Oh my gosh! I'm serious. Yeah. Playing this game at higher level is a completely new experience for me.
Yeah, it is. Oh man. And then you're gonna get to experience the joy of Dawn and Duskfang.
No, you know what I'm excited for? I am super excited to roll into Kvatch at like level 30.
Oh, it's miserable.
Because every time I go look at the...
It's so bad.
Every time I go look at the Oblivion subreddit, there's always one post that's like, so I did Kvatch at level 27.
I did it at level 44, and I was like, this isn't exactly difficult, but man, are none of these Kvatch cards staying alive for very long at a time.
No, I would not be surprised.
One of the Imperial soldiers survived.
This Grummite just shot me without doing any animations. Yeah. All right. So I've just been kind of running around. All right. I wanted to go. Yeah. Okay. I wanna go discover this town. But yeah, as a character, Patches is really interesting because he's characterized pretty much the same way across all the games he appears in. As in, he hates clerics.
And he does a little trolling.
He has a little fun. We have a little fun. We do a bit of trolling. Oh, that Grummite had a shield matrix.
We do a little trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
There are two, what are they called? Dark Seducers. There's just two Dark Seducers just hanging out in the water down here.
Yeah, that's what they do sometimes.
I can't get a good look at them to see if they look great. No, everybody's been posting about everybody is so hung up. Everybody out here horny posting about the Flame Atronax, and ain't nobody talked about the Dark Seducers or Golden Saints. So either they haven't gotten into the DLC yet, or they're too busy beating the game at level 10. Or no, sorry, they're too busy beating the game at level 3 in 10 hours. Okay, so to be fair about the time, on the Xbox app on PC, it gives a estimate from how long to beat. And it says the how long to beat if you just do the main quest is 13 hours.
Oh yeah, no, like that's not, like, the time to beat is not the upsetting part there. But the, like, just playing at a fundamentally wrong way. And I'm loath to be like, you played the game wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't normally do that, but, like, straight up, like, you played the game wrong, dude.
Well, that's like, I was over at Tyler's house one night, and I loaded up his Fallout 3 save. And it's just like, so you only did the main quest. But that's one of those kind of like, to be fair to him kind of things. Remember when I was laying out the other day how few quests are in that game?
Yeah. Like, what else is there to do?
Yeah, it's like, the majority of quests in that game are the main quest. And also, if you were like, well, you know, I played the main quest and it was kind of meh, the writing was meh, I'd be like, yeah, that's true. And then you're like, and then I went to do this, like, spaceship DLC and it was awful, so I just didn't do any of the other DLCs. I'd go, yeah, that's fair.
Yep.
Although,
you played yourself, but I understand why you can't.
You played yourself, yeah, you played yourself for a reason. Because Point Lookout's really cool. Tyler, I don't know if you did Point Lookout. That's the DLC where you go to Point Lookout, Maryland, and it's like swampy.
I don't remember if I did that one or not.
It was
Did you
quite
get
a
an
long time ago.
actual shotgun at any point in the game?
Oh, no. Did you at any point in the game get lobotomized?
Yeah, 'cause those are like
not
the two
in-game.
noteworthy features.
Not
of
in
Point
game.
Lookout.
Have
Did you
y'all
get a
have y'all seen that meme that's it's a picture that's like a guy before and after getting a lobotomy, and the picture before he looks kind of like depressed and like kind of gruff, and then in the second picture his head is like shaved and he's smoking a cigar. It's like, what is the message that you're trying to send that like getting a lobotomy makes you cool?
I mean, for some people it removes what makes them cringe, so I guess.
And that there's nothing I can do about it.
I just found a guy named Ingvar Doomsayer who is walking around shirtless, and he said that he finds it comforting to know that the end is coming and that he can't do anything about it.
Based.
Zay Steven.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan says he hates when people play games like that. Yeah, that is indeed a horrible thing to find out. Okay, so I'm not going to name names, but I do want to talk about this concept. We know somebody that has never done the Thieves Guild or Dark Brotherhood quests in these games because he doesn't want to be evil. He doesn't want to do evil things. And it's really funny because if you were to play those quest lines, you would realize that, A, in Oblivion, the Thieves Guild is a bunch of Robin Hood quests. Right? Like one of the first quests is stealing taxes back from the government and like and giving the money back basically. And get up. I can't apply paralyzed twice. And then like I don't know, I feel like the Dark Brotherhood in this game, it's more silly evil in some ways, but then
even darkly comedic.
it's a dark comedy. You wouldn't get it. But then my weapon is about to break. I'm not used to this. Hold on.
Do you have a repair him?
I should. It's just scrolling through all. I have a single repair hammer, and I cannot use it because an enemy is nearby.
And also, I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess your armorer is less than 100.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna have a good time just praying that that hammer lasts long enough.
Oh, no, I'm just gonna stop shooting enemies with my, Who's that? Ascended Zealot? And they just summoned, a Flesh Atronak. Thieves Guild in Oblivion is ANCAP. A little bit.
It's Syndicalist.
It's definitely not. I don't know. I think, like, I can see why you would say that. What is this? I just found a perfect madness shield. Oh my gosh, I'm being attacked by a ghost? Hang on. Where is my... I need a weapon that I can swing. Where are they?
I need a potion of cure disease because I got the astral vapors and now I have stunted magic.
Where is this guy? Ooh! There's too much happening on my screen right now. The game is literally gonna crash. Do I not have any? Okay, I was gonna say, do I not have any potions of sorcery? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is an event. What is happening? I just heard somebody like powering up a Kamehameha or something.
Y'all seen that comic of these two guys in the boxing ring and one of them like does the pose and starts saying it is and the guy's like, I give up. And at the press conference he's like, I know that he can't, but I wasn't gonna stand around and find out if he could.
There is an invisible guy, a summoner. Time to bust out that razor. Oh my gosh, my frame rate. My frame rate, so help me. No, the Thieves Guild is more like, in this game, is more like, what's the word? My gosh. Alright, one enemy down. Where's your master flesh, Atronak? The frame rate is dropping so bad that I'm having a hard time aiming my weapon to swing it. Where'd you go?
Hey, man,
dude, die!
Genghis.
Bro! And then his body disappeared. I don't even get to loot this guy's body. He dropped a Grand Madness Axe. Well, that was an event. Oh my gosh, I think there's another one right here. This place is full of invisible dudes. See, the Thieves Guild in Oblivion can't be ANCAP because they don't have nuanced opinions on age of consent laws. Thank you, I'll be here all week. I just feel like both people in the Discord with me are dead.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I was focusing up because I'm, having to fight Manamarco.
I'm not sorry, I'm actually dead.
I beat Manamarco so easily. Now my frame rate's better. Somebody just texted me and asked me if I played Outlast. And it's just like, well, somebody just found out about the Outlast movie.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't critical of that person, but Outlast is a movie game that has been turned into a movie, and that just
wait, is it Outlast or Until Dawn?
Oh wait, no, yeah, sorry, I'm thinking of Until Dawn. What? Yeah. No, but Outlast is another horror game that's kind of
she plays as a reporter.
Yeah,
so you have a camera.
It's contemporary with Until Dawn though.
Yeah.
As in, it came out in the last few years.
Right. Outlast though is legit, actually.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's good, but okay, not to sound like a certain Joseph, son of Anders. Horror games usually don't. Well, okay, let me rephrase. Horror as a genre of film doesn't get me, but maybe in games it would because I'm interfacing with it. But the last horror game that I played was Amnesia, and in no way did Amnesia scare me.
So I had the exact opposite experience where Amnesia gave me the spooks.
Well, I'll tell you why Amnesia doesn't bother me. You can just
memory lapse.
You can just walk up to the monster and it doesn't do anything to you. You just walk up and just rub your body on it and nothing happens. So that's because what actually kills you is your insanity.
There is one distinct sequence that's a water monster that actively attacks you.
Yeah, that's kind of early in the.
Yeah. No, obviously that doesn't counter completely what you're saying.
No. Yeah, but when you get to that same part, kind of in the beginning of the game, where you're kind of walking around and you have to hide from the thing that's chasing you. Yeah, the thing that's chasing you doesn't do damage to you. Just seeing it causes your insanity to go up.
Yes. And then your head explodes.
Anarcho-Syndicalist is sort of close, I guess. The fact that Corvus Umbernox is a rogue elite vanguard lends slightly to that idea. He just lacks a revolutionary impetus and leads no movement. Yeah, but also, for your consideration, his name is literally Crow or Raven Dark Knight. The masked, like, he's not quite a superhero, but the masked elite that is going around doing Robin Hood level crimes is named the Dark Knight. But like Night.
So with all of that, like the Raven and like Darkness thing, it's like my brain goes towards Darkwing Duck for some reason.
Okay, I mean fair. But also
granted, that may be because I need brain medicine.
But also the other funny thing is earlier when I was talking about Primarchs, and I never finished my thought on that because we got onto something else immediately after that. One of the Primarchs' name is Corvus Corax, which is like the Latin and Greek words for raven or crow. That's kind of like how there are like the Latin classification for bear.
Yeah.
It's like horribilis horribilis or whatever.
No, it's Ursus horribilis.
Yeah.
It's just bear horrible.
Alright, we're almost to New Sheoth. We've literally taken the longest route to get here. I've been in combat almost nonstop.
Yeah, that sounds like a journey on foot to New Sheoth if I've ever heard of one.
I've made it to the New Sheoth graveyard. Oh, Tyler, you should... Like, this is the perfect... Hold on, Jonathan said Raven Dark Knight was my OC when I was 12.
I mean, yeah, who among us?
Okay, but Tyler, this is like the perfect DLC for you to be here for. Because it's all like, okay, everything is about like mental illness in some way. And I don't know if the developers just looked into the DSM and just started throwing darts at the DSM and seeing what came out.
I don't even think they did that.
Listen, that's low-key kind of what I would do if I was gonna play a Malkavian in Vampire the Masquerade. Like, in an actual, tabletop session. Like, I would find something interesting. Well, because most people choose when playing... Where is the blacksmith? Museum of Oddities. Cutter's Weapons. Okay. I think it's actually, yeah. Cutters. Yeah, exactly. But, no. Like, a lot of people, when they roleplay Malkavians, they choose some kind of schizoaffective disorder. But I'll tell you this. So, like, Jeanette from VTMB, she has she has essentially, she's one person that acts as two different people.
Two-facedness.
And, well, it's funny that you say two-facedness, because people will refer to there are references in that game to, like, daughter of Janus. And Janus is a multi-faced god of Greek legend. So that's actually kind of like a referential hint at it. Okay, this lady does madness stuff.
Maybe anywhere. Take a look.
She sells repair hammer.
Go.
But I already got my stuff.
Sink your blade deep.
Does she sell seashells by the seashore?
No. She sells car keys at Caracas.
Wearing a pair of car keys.
She's wearing a pair of car keys and selling car keys in Caracas that will leave you to a carcass
How may I serve?
in the Caucasus. I did that when I started naming demons in my book. My Grim Reaper is based off of Cotard's syndrome. Not familiar with that. Sam, use your minor in psychology to tell me what that is.
Otter syndrome? I don't recall. I'd have to look it up, but I'm actually curious now. So here we go.
Basically, that's
Google.
That's basically me telling you to Google it so I can keep playing. Okay, let's go ahead and go talk to Papa Shea Gorath. Okay, hang on. So let's get a...
Blessings, citizen.
Well, the Dark Seducers still have a bit of an unsettling look to them.
Oh, sick. Cotard's syndrome, also known as Cotard's delusion or walking corpse syndrome, is a rare mental disorder in which the affected person holds the delusional belief that they are dead, do not exist, are putrefying, or have lost their blood or internal organs.
Okay.
Statistical analysis of a 100-patient cohort indicated that denial of self-existence is present in 45% of the cases of Cotard's syndrome. The other 55% of the patients presented with delusions of immortality.
Speak quickly, mortal.
So I wonder if that's what, Dead, I think his stage name was, had that.
Oh, the black metal guy?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because, like,
Dude.
it was mentioned there that he, had this persistent belief that he was dead.
Oh, yeah. This is the guy that would literally, go to graveyards and, cover himself with dirt from graves.
Yep.
Like he would, perform dirty with grave dirt.
Based.
No. Hang on.
I mean, not actually.
If we're talking black metal lore, that... Okay, oh my gosh, I freaking love this so... Okay, hang on. Jonathan, if you want lore for inspiration for books, let me tell you about the band Mayhem. So, okay. After 2 brief replacements, the role of vocalist and drummer in Mayhem were filled by Swedish vocalist Pelle Yngve Orlin, known as Dead, and local drummer Jan Axel Blomberg, Hellhammer. With Dead, the band's concerts gained notoriety for their extreme theatricality and atmosphere. From the onset of his career, Dead was known for wearing corpse paint involving the application of black and white makeup to achieve a ghastly appearance. According to Necro Butcher, it wasn't anything to do with the way Kiss and Alice Cooper used makeup. Dead actually wanted to look like a corpse. He didn't do it to look cool. Hellhammer asserted that Dead was the first black metal musician to use corpse paint. To complete his corpse-like image, Dead would bury his stage clothes and dig them up to wear on concert nights. During performances, Dead would often cut himself with hunting knives and broken glass. The band frequently featured pig or sheep heads impaled on stakes at the front of the stage. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the page for Oystein Arseth, better known by his stage name of Euronymous, which his Wikipedia page is a picture of him and Dead. Okay. Let me just scroll down. Or hang on, let me actually go back to the page for Dead to make sure I don't conflate the stories. Okay. Where is it? Okay, so in the section of his page titled Self-Harm and Suicide, in time, Dead's social situation and his fixation on death caused his mental state to worsen greatly. He would casually cut himself while in the presence of his friends, who would have to subdue him and treat his wounds. Although this upset many of his friends, Euronymous grew fascinated with Dead's suicidal ideologies because he felt extreme negativity fit Mayhem's image. And according to them, he encouraged Dead to kill himself. Mannheim said, "I don't know if Oystein did it out of pure evil or if he was just fooling around." By 1991, Dead, Euronymous, and Hellhammer were living in a house in the woods near Krakstad, which was used as a place for the band to rehearse. According to Hellhammer, Dead spent much of his time writing letters and drawing. He just sat in his room and became more and more depressed. Necrobutcher said that after living together for a while, Dead and Euronymous got on each other's nerves a lot. Hellhammer recalls an anecdote where Dead once retreated outside to sleep in the woods because Euronymous was playing his synth music that Dead hated. Euronymous followed and began shooting into the air with a shotgun to further antagonize him. Varg Vilkens and Burzum, who are Euronymous and that's the guys, claimed that Dead once stabbed Euronymous with a knife during an altercation. Vikernes also claims to have sent Mayhem ammunition, including shotgun shells, as a Christmas gift, although he claimed those were not the shells Dead used to kill himself, and that he instead saved a special shell particularly to be used for his suicide. On 8th of April 1981, while alone in the house, Dead used a hunting knife to slit his wrist and throat, and afterwards shot himself in the forehead with a shotgun. He left a brief suicide note, in which started with the line, "Excuse the blood." His body was found by Euronymous, who had to climb through an open window as the doors were locked and there were no other keys to the house. Instead of calling the police immediately, Euronymous visited a nearby shop to purchase a disposable camera with which he photographed the body. After rearranging some items for his pictures, he proceeded to call emergency services. Dead's suicide caused a rift between Euronymous and some of his friends, who were disgusted by his attitude towards Dead before his suicide, and his behavior about Dead's death afterwards. Necrobutcher ended his friendship with Euronymous and left Mayhem. Mannheim later speculated that Euronymous had willfully left Dead alone in the house so that he could have a chance to kill himself. Dead's suicide was said to cause a change in mentality in the black metal scene and was the first in a string of infamous events carried out by its members. And this is when we have to talk about... Let me see. In early 1993, animosity arose between Euronymous and Varg Vikernes, as well as between Euronymous and some members of the Swedish black metal scene. On the night of 10th of August, 1993, Varg Vikernes stabbed Euronymous to death at his apartment in Oslo. The murder was initially blamed on Swedish black metalers by the media. It has been speculated that the murder was the result of a power struggle, a financial dispute over Burzum Records. Euronymous owed Vikernes a large sum of royalty payments, or an attempt at outdoing the stabbing in Lillehammer. Vikernes claimed that he killed Euronymous in self-defense. He said that Euronymous had plotted to stun him with an electroshock weapon, tie him up, and torture him to death while videotaping the event. Vikernes explains if he was talking about it to everybody, and anybody, I wouldn't have taken it seriously, but he just told a select group of friends, and one of them told me. He said that Euronymous planned to use a meeting about the unsigned contract to ambush him. So, okay. I love the Scandinavian death metal culture. My name is Eric Hinga Dinga Leifson, and I'm the drummer for my band Corpse Eater Death Vision. That's awesome, though. I'm glad people like him aren't locked away in asylums anymore. Well, Varg Vilkernes absolutely went to jail for stabbing that guy to death. But I'm here to inform you that he is out of jail. But I don't think he's going to harm anybody. This is also the guy that very specifically burned a bunch of churches, specifically Lutheran churches.
Well, yeah, because like, what else is there
in Scandinavia? Yeah,
Scandinavia. Yeah, sorry. My apologies to the people of Northern Europe.
Sickly Bernice is convinced she's dying. No one
hey, sickly Bernice is convinced she's dying. Maybe she's got Cotard syndrome.
Goodbye.
Bernice. Well, the Golden Saints look great.
Away, mortal. I haven't time for your chatter.
See you.
Although I can't tell if that's new voice lines. Okay, where am I actually? Okay, I have to go over here. I've been kind of wandering around aimlessly. So yeah, Tyler, there is a quest in this DLC where... Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. Don't you have to help a guy kill himself? Or is it that you're trying to prevent him from doing it?
I believe you can either help him or push him off.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at New Sheoth, pal. Look at this place. Holy cow. It looks, and especially with the crystals, the big crystals that are here, it looks just like Avowed. Christ. Man, I hate that we have inside jokes like that are just lost to time for anybody that's not us. like, for one, we'd be like borderline doxing ourselves to explain it to a live stream, but okay, here we are. We're about to talk to him. We're about to see him.
Always
About to get the cheese.
For everybody.
A new arrival! Shame about my gatekeeper. I'm so happy I could just tear out your intestines and strangle
Although sadly, of course, he will reconsider and say, no, on second thought, no cheese. Cheese for now.
I'm Sheogorath, Prince of Madness, and other things. I'm not talking about them. You probably figured that out by now.
His outfit looks incredible.
We're in real trouble. And out come the intestines. And I skip rope with
apparently,
them.
like, when you attack him, of course, he'll hit you with a paralyzed spell, then walk up to you, and then teleport you away. Apparently, they put a lot of work into, like, really, like, making sure you could hear that cane striking the ground when he walks with it.
Oh, okay.
I've been waiting for you. Or someone like you. Or someone other than you.
Of course, he has his typical, you really shouldn't have done that.
He got that pimp daddy drip, yeah. Well, it's the cane really helps with it.
The cane and the purple, like...
He's got some real, like, nobody messes with Pepperjack.
I mean, no, to be fair, nobody messes with Pepperjack.
I'm going through changes.
Are the embodiment of change and permanency. I'm no different, except in the ways that I am. A gray march is coming, and you're
Okay, so here's the thing about Sheogorath. While through the story of this DLC, he does kind of embody manic depression or bipolar disorder, that's not why he talks the way he does. Like, bipolar people don't talk like that. Well,
Right.
I mean, maybe, but, like, it's very specifically how he talks about, like, like how he'll threaten you, and in the same line...
I'll tear out your intestines and skip rope with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he says it, like, very flatly, and then just completely moves on and says something different. Like, that, I don't think that's...
He almost sounds gleeful.
Yeah. I don't think that's bipolar disorder. Well, then again, isn't there, like, bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 or something like that?
There are different axes of bipolarity, and of course, like, different severities as well. Like, there's different categories of bipolarity based on the severity of your valleys and your peaks as well. Like, cyclothymia, if my memory serves, is a form of bipolarity wherein your peaks are never very high comparatively, but your valleys are extremely low. So it often gets confused for different depressive disorders or like seasonal affective disorder.
I'm sorry, but whoever named seasonal affective disorder should jump off a
we respect
bridge.
the big sad.
Like, okay,
I mean,
I'm
part
gonna...
of me honestly wouldn't be surprised if the person that came up with it didn't realize until like 20 seconds afterward that it's just an acronym for SAD, isn't it? Because like I can imagine like a clinician of some sort being like, well, this is an affective disorder that roughly aligns with the movement of the seasons, so it's a seasonal affective disorder.
Was it
And
actually
then like
a clinician that
after he
came up
said
with
it,
that?
it was like, oh wait.
Well, what'd you say, Tyler?
Would it actually be a clinician that came up with that, or would that be somebody in research?
I'm actually,
I mean, either way,
I'm
like a
looking into
researcher.
this.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is all about treatment and... Okay. SAD was formally described and named in 1984 by Norman E. Rosenthal and his colleagues at the National Institute of Mental Health. The initial investigation was motivated by observations of depression occurring during the dark winter months in northern regions of the United States, known as polar night. Rosenthal proposed that the reduction in available natural light during winter could contribute to this phenomenon. Subsequently, he and his colleagues conducted a placebo-controlled study that utilized light therapy to document the effects of the condition. Although Rosenthal's ideas were initially greeted with skepticism, SAD has been well recognized. His 1993 book, Winter Blues, has become the standard introduction to the subject. Well, what I was going to... Actually, it actually does say up here at the top, like first paragraph Wikipedia, it says... It's a mood disorder subset in which people who typically have normal mental health throughout most of the year exhibit depressive symptoms at the same time each year. It is commonly but not always associated with the reductions or increases in total daily sunlight hours that occur during the winter or summer. Because I was actually going to point out that it irritates me when people are like, oh, my sad, it's winter, my sad. And I'm like, it's winter. I feel amazing. You know why, like, winter's my favorite time of year? Because it's not 100 degrees and I can sleep. Do you know why the summer is the hardest time of the year for me? Because I don't get enough sleep because it's 100 degrees at night.
And muggy.
At night.
My realm, my rules.
Which was one of the nice things when I was out in Washington. Even on the warmer days, it was very cool at night.
And some are more unwanted than others.
Winter's my favorite because the bugs go to hell. Yes.
I mean,
they go back to hell.
Honestly, fair.
No, I'd gotten really used to having my windows open in my room, especially when I was gaming. Because, you know, the PS5 and the PC are both heat generators.
Yeah.
So I would have both of the windows open and have really good cold air coming through. Well, then I had to stop that a couple weeks ago because while it was still like 68 degrees outside, it was just, I was having fights with bugs in my sleep.
Just Dracula flow. The bugs are back.
Winter's also my favorite season because it exposes the weak-minded. Yeah, and those with weak genetics.
Who will not survive the winter.
Also, I like how Sheogorath, this is one of those things where I would literally have to have the game pulled up side by side, but I like how he drums his fingers on his cane. And I don't remember if that was originally an animation that he did, because I think he did, because it's, like, everything about Sheogorath is bespoke.
Yep.
Because he was the only character model with a beard, and like all of that, like
growing a beard in New Sheoth was a death penalty level crime.
New Sheoth.
But
My home away from places that aren't my home. The current location is much better than some of the prior ones.
You're saying he did? Okay, yeah.
But that wouldn't surprise me because they also kept his animation where he balances his cane on his finger.
Yes.
And others as well. Or they were, weren't they? A little busy here. I'm trying to decide what to have for dinner. Oh, how I love eating.
I'm gonna say this though, his audio's messing up. He's got more brains than a brain pie.
That's a lot of brains.
His audio just messed. So he was like, he's got more brains than a brain pie, and then he goes, brain pie, and then he was trying to say, like, something after that, and his audio just stopped, and he started another audio. Like, it's because the audio files are uncompressed.
Yeah. No, it's just the madness of the Isles, man.
A wonderful place. Except when it's horrible.
Okay. It's like those games, like, back, like, in the early 2000s, that would be like, you may experience some graphical glitches during gameplay. Hey, that's like the Eldritch horrors messing with your game.
Okay, so like Tyler, we're talking about mental disorders and everything, and like how they're represented in the Shivering Isles, and we're talking about Sheogorath. Well, he just said like, this place is great, except when it isn't. Like, but like it's not just like a joke that he's saying it like that. Like when he talks, it's like he is changing his mind multiple times during each sentence. Which is why I'm saying that I think it goes beyond some form of bipolar disorder and gets into the realm of like, I'm thinking it might be some kind of schizoaffective disorder of the, at least, because there's that like kind of generalization about schizophrenia that like, it's like main character syndrome, or like you think you're a god basically, but you're like all over the place and weird.
Really? No need to trouble yourself with the details of that now.
I mean, most of the schizophrenics I've ever observed, like in textbooks, are like, it's not even that they're like main character, it's just they're convinced that they're the only ones that have noticed that the sun is a deadly laser.
The sun is a deadly laser.
You can go now. Run along, scoot.
It's not like they're special for noticing, it's just they're waiting for everybody else to notice, too.
Hey, what? Come up here. No, why not? The sun is a deadly laser. Oh yeah, remember how, so like in the ducal palace here, remember how there are trophy stands that like as you progress the main quest, things appear here. Yeah, the gatekeeper's head is already here.
Yep. But yes, like, are you familiar with the story of the Shivering Isles, like, at all?
Me?
Yes, like, as far as, like, the story, like, how it unfolds.
I have played the Shivering Isles.
Okay. I didn't want to do, like, plot spoilers by mistake if you were...
No, like, I know that the whole point is, like, so the whole point is, so Tyler, the whole point is, in the Elder Scrolls, there are functionally, I know the cosmology is a little bit deeper than this, there are functionally two kinds of gods. There's the Aedra and the Daedra. The Aedra are your normal kind of pantheon of gods that you would expect in a setting like this. There are 9 of them. Originally, there were 8 of them. Well, actually, no, there's more Aedra than that. There's more Aedra than that. Or no. Hang on. It may just be an issue of their names being different.
Oh no, yeah, like the Aedra, depending on which culture you're asking about them towards, will have all sorts of different names.
Right. So it's supposed to be
are monotheists somehow.
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be kind of how well no the Skull are monotheists because they believe in like the All-Father.
Right.
Like they believe in like the god that or like the other gods essentially originate from. But which wouldn't that mean that that's like
Well, no, that would be henotheism, not monotheism.
That's true.
If they acknowledge the existence
of the others
gods but only worship one.
Well, okay, but they recognize the existence of the Daedra.
Yeah, so yeah, they would be. Well, I'd hope so. Like,
because I mean, okay, well, because I'm talking about.
All have no excuse for not recognizing.
Right. Okay, but no. So the Aedra, there's 8 of them, and then there's a guy who was this like legendary hero that ascended to become a god. So there are 9. And that's why there's like this thing in Oblivion where they talk about the 8 and 1 and how the 8 became 9. No, hang on. And the 8 became 9! Wes Johnson in the studio just being allowed to cook at all times.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, like, he doesn't even have to say "let me cook." It's just understood. It's one of the rules of the voice acting studio at Bethesda. It's
Yeah.
It's just on the board. It's just like, Wes Johnson is always allowed at the stove.
Let Wes do what he wants.
It will be great, trust me.
Yes.
Wesley.
Silly me.
But so the Aedra have their different domains, kind of like Roman or Greek gods, or even kind of like Norse gods. So there's a goddess of kind of nature, and like one of the gods is associated with like mercantilism and speech-related things. But the Daedra tend to be a bit more evil aligned in a way. And also this setting is somewhat deistic may not be the word. What I mean is like
the Daedra are very active in
yeah,
the
Daedra are very active, but the
Aedra, you have to very much like you have to make them get involved.
Yeah. Well, like, the whole plot of Oblivion is one of the Daedric gods essentially causing an absolutely cataclysmic event to occur in the mortal realms. And it is stopped by an avatar of one of the primary Aedra gods. Like, that god specifically steps in and is like, we gotta fix this. That...
Like, okay, there's only one way to fix this.
And it's for Sean Bean. It's for Sean Bean to become a dragon.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. So anyway, so the plot of the Shivering Isles is, the Shivering Isles is the domain of one of the Daedra. And that particular Daedra is a trickster god, or... He's a trickster god, but he is also, he's a god of chaos and madness.
Yeah.
And
creativity.
And yes. Like, and that's, again, that goes with, like, the whole kind of, like, Norse pantheon having very broad domains and wearing multiple hats. Well, anyway, so you...
invented music.
You show up to be the champion for this god and help him to... kind of put a plan in motion because he goes through a cycle. I forget the exact number of years, if it's like 1,000 or what, but he goes through this perpetual cycle where he is replaced by a different version of himself that is the exact opposite. He's like the god of order. And
everything being boring.
Basically, like,
and formulaic.
Sheogorath is kind of like chaotic neutral, maybe chaotic evil leaning sometimes. Although he could kind of be chaotic good. He's literally just that chaotic. Whereas Jiggalag would be like, probably like lawful evil.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, so basically you come in to end the cycle.
To end the Grey March.
And so you have to end the cycle and fight Jiggalag, the god of order, and you essentially become Sheogorath, the god of madness. Like you, by defeating Jiggalag, become Sheogorath. But again, it's an exploration of madness, whatever that madness is in that particular instance of the quest and the story. But
although interestingly enough, even with Jiggalag being like aligned with order, Sheogorath is, interestingly enough, he's extremely meticulous.
Right.
And one of the great examples of that is the Shivering Isles.
Athletics increased to 69.
Including
Nice.
Including New Sheoth is split perfectly down the middle.
Yeah.
And that's one of those I should have noticed that and appreciated that sooner than I did.
Like the symmetry of it.
Yes. But like I was only really thinking about that when we were talking about how would Sheogorath be like made a magic card if they were going to do something like that.
Oh yeah.
My remark about like madness comes in all colors, and I was like, no, that's it. Like white would be order, like the obsessive compulsive, everything has to be just so.
Mm-hmm.
Side of madness.
And then red representing the chaos, like passion. Yeah.
Blue could be fixation.
Oh yeah, obsession.
Or red and blue playing off of each other of like fixation, passion, creation, intellectual drive, like that. Because like there's the old quote, the only difference between genius and madness is success.
Yeah. Well, and like I'm actually sitting here thinking about how black in the scheme of Magic the Gathering represents madness. And I'm just thinking of how some especially cards from like Innistrad represent black characters, as in like mono black characters or black aligned characters, not actual African characters. I don't know, I'm having a hard time kind of like nailing down how I would describe.
Well, there's a lot of association with decay.
So dementia,
possibly. Even like disorders that lead to like self-harm or.
Oh, that's a really good point, because.
Or even just like the intentional, just allowing yourself to decay, so to speak, of like not like anorexia or bulimia.
Yeah. See, before like when you said that, I remembered that a lot of the quote unquote suicide strategies in Magic, when people still called them that,
yep,
were very much like mono black or even like black white. Also, yeah. Jonathan says, I feel like I read somewhere the other Daedra imposed the madness on him in an ambush/curse in order to stop him from becoming too powerful, but I'd have to refresh myself.
Jiggalag would just constantly go from Plane of Oblivion to Plane of Oblivion, subjugating them because he was the Prince of Order.
Yeah.
and the other Daedra inflicted Jiggalag with madness in an effort basically to stop him, and thus was born Sheogorath. And so the Grey March is that every so often, Jiggalag will reassert himself through the madness, will claim the Shivering Isles, revert it back to its Jiggalag-ruled state, but inevitably, as he mentions, I always revert back to that blithering fool Sheogorath.
Yeah.
And so the cycle, it's mutually beneficial. Sheogorath gets to persist in the world, and Jiggalag gets to not have to worry about turning back into Shigarath again.
So,
but then there's the question of, okay, like, well, what is everyone gonna do? Because Jiggalag just really likes making everything uniform. And I wish that they could have done something with that in Skyrim, but, you know, I wish they could have done a lot of things in Skyrim, like have good writing. So we'll just have to live with it.
Another thing that's very intriguing about the Daedra is, I don't know if this also applies to the Aedra. I've never heard anybody say this, because the Aedra and the Daedra are all referred to in gendered ways, as in, like, one of the Aedra gods or goddesses is Mara, and she's like associated with love and bounty and things like that. And then you have like Akatosh is very obviously referred to as being male. I'm actually struggling. Oh, Zenithar, Julianos, like the vast majority of them seem to be male. And then you have like Mara.
Bella is female. She's like nurturing. Like Mara is the passionate side of love. Debella is the nurturing aspect of love. Like,
and Debella is also like associate, like Debella is kind of like a Aphrodite type. What am I supposed to do here? Did I pick something up that I'm, or did I not pick something up? I'm confused. Judgment Nexus. I'm playing with my brain turned off because okay, I've discovered the first of 3 focus crystals. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's on the shaman's staff. Okay. Okay. Because there is a... And it's funny that this is in a city where there is a Temple of Mara. In Skyrim, there's a city that has a Temple of Mara, and there is a woman there that is disliked for practicing her Debellan arts. Basically, she worships Debella by sleeping around, often with married men. But, okay, anyway. Also, I'm going to say this, the Grummites, in a way, look like very much they could be like the citizens of Innsmouth or something like that. There is a little bit of an element of that with them.
The fishiness.
Yeah, the fishy kind of frog nature of them. Okay, but anyway, the reason why I'm pointing out that the Daedra, or that the Aedra are referred to in gendered ways, the Daedra are genderless. However, they choose to manifest... The way I heard it described, which was really interesting, was that they manifest in ways that they think make sense for... Like, essentially, Sheogorath appears the way he does for the benefit of his worshippers.
Right.
Like, the Daedra appear in a way that is conducive to what they want out of their mortal worshippers. And so that's why, well, the reason why Nocturnal appears as a hot goth GF is, I don't know.
Like darkness and the night.
Yeah. But kind of consistently through the series, the Daedra have all been depicted in the same way.
Yep. With the exception of Boethia.
Right.
Boethia goes back and forth on being presented as a man or a woman, which I've never understood.
Well, it's also kind of strange because some of their names are so obviously one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like, Nocturnal is a little bit different, because, like, Nocturnal's just a word that's not necessarily gendered. Also, there's got to be something, because, you know, in Dark Souls, the moon is associated with femininity.
Oh yeah, no, that's been a thing in mythology.
Right, I was just saying I don't really know where that comes from.
Part of it, truthfully, may be just an accident of... Well, okay, the question is...
the moon itself in Latin is named with a female gendered word.
Right, and so is and so it is in Greek. So the question becomes, is it so named because the culture associated the feminine with the aspects of the moon, or did it come to be associated with the feminine because of the grammar?
Right. Like what, like it's a chicken and egg kind of thing. Because, like, if you were to kind of examine, you know, the light from the sun is very harsh. Like, yes, it brings life and warmth and everything, but it also burns. And
If you stare at it, it hurts.
yeah, but moonlight is soft and gentle and is a reflection of the light of the sun. And you know, the sun doesn't give its light to the moon, assuming the moon will owe it one. If you can tell me what I'm referencing.
Oh, I have no idea.
I believe it's Place for My Head off of Hybrid Theory. It's a Linkin Park song off of Hybrid Theory.
Right. I mean,
I think it's Place for My Head.
Like, I recognize Hybrid Theory, but it's just one of those, like, as much as I like songs off of Hybrid Theory, I've never just sat down and listened to the entire album.
That's gay. You should fix that.
Not a whole lot of bands that I just sit down and listen to entire albums.
Sam, you don't engage with art in any meaningful way. Sorry, hold on. This Grummite, this Grummite was breakdancing.
I was gonna say, like, that's not true. Like, I just...
You don't watch movies. You don't watch television. You don't read books. You don't listen to music. You're a Luddite. I'm just gonna say it. Just gonna say, listening to songs by an artist is not the same as listening to music.
I mean, like, I don't just, like...
This is one of those times where we're like really like on a thin line between a bit and me being like aggressive, like aggressively berating you.
Because at first, when you're like, oh, you just don't engage with art in any movie.
You don't?
I was like, I do! No.
Gosh.
I hate to interrupt this, but Dylan, there's something you need to lay eyes on the Instagrams.
The Grament stuff.
It was sent to the group chat.
Nice.
The group chat Sam doesn't participate in.
Yeah, that one.
I lurk.
We should add Jonathan to the group chat. just out of nowhere, just add him to it.
Nah, man, like, I mean, if my vote matters, I mean, I'm in favor of Jonathan being in any of the group chats or the chats for double A's.
Where are you getting all those cheese wheels, Danny? Shea Gorath's making them at night.
Look at Sugarats making them at night. Oh, yes. Like, it upsets me how well the person that did this did with making
Like, that's
Shane
just
Gillis.
him.
It is, and that's what upsets me.
somebody made Bella Ramsey, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like the original game would
have been better suited for this task.
These stupid Grummites silenced me, so I've just been jumping over their heads and shooting them with arrows.
I can't believe the nanny state, Grummites, silenced me, took away my ability to cast incredibly destructive magic at them.
You are over encumbered. Yeah, because I've just been looting everything. Get rid of that. I should have sold that when I was in town. I'm stupid.
Yeah, you gotta get a spell like Beast of Burden.
You know, if I wasn't kind of medium on Rolling Stones, I would have started singing that.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Like, that's a particular feather spell. That's like 250 points of feather for like 2 minutes. And it's like, if you need much more than that, you're doing something wrong. Like, how many times do Timberwolves have to watch me send a Timberwolf to the Deadlands with a fireball before they stop just attacking me?
Finally,
like, this
Lord
boar
Shea
gets it.
Gorath has sent someone to assist me. But where are my manners? Must get into my professional tone. Welcome to Zidillion. I'm the dungeon caretaker, Killaban Nirendil.
Killaban Nirendil. Tell me about this place.
A wonder of engineering, is it not? Zidillion is the ultimate test of metal for the foolhardy adventurer that dares trespass into the Shivering Isles. What they don't know is that they're being drawn to their doom, courtesy of the Resonator of Judgment.
I just had a revelation. There should have been a character in the Shivering Isles whose name was like an anagram or whatever of Killed a Little Nord Girl.
After only a few years passed.
You're really on that today.
I don't know why. I've just gotten a big kick out of that recently. Just
killed a little Nord girl at her birthday party.
And I think it's because, like, intellectually, I know it's like the orc voice actor saying it as an orc, but just something about just seeing some doofy 2006 era Nord saying that with that exact intonation just really tickles me.
Gorath must have sent you. Zidillion would normally have sent you back to the entrance when you stepped on the pad in the resonator chamber.
See, this place is called Zindillion as a reference to Xanax.
Adventurers are already entering the dungeon as we speak.
This is one of the... Okay, so this is one of the most memorable parts, and it's probably because it's at the kind of beginning of the Shivering Isles, but this part of the main quest is you go into this kind of dungeon area and reactivate it. And this dungeon is a filter for adventurers that are trying to enter the Shivering Isles. And you get to troll them.
The only thing we can
or
do
just
is let the
really
adventurers
kill them.
complete a cycle through here. I'll be glad to help. I assume Shea Gorath gave you the manual of Zidillion. You can consult it for more information.
Oh, you had to dip out, man. You missed some nonsense. Me and Sam had a friendship-ending argument. Tyler said 5 words in a row, and
they weren't slurs, amazingly.
Amazingly. We've even been teaching him new ones.
Yeah.
They're just not
As the
sticking.
adventurers make their way through Zidillion's chambers.
And you know, good
was
on
only
you.
4.
Encounter choices that you make in these control.
I don't know. We're from the South. We already came with a bunch of them pre-installed, so...
Will you drive them insane, or will you pull the life from their bodies?
I'm going to drive them insane because it's so much funnier.
As you wish.
Okay. Teaching him new slurs or new words, I don't know.
Back in business.
That both equally complicated tasks. Sorry.
Well, I mean, yeah, slurs are usually words. Like,
Usually.
I mean, unless you know of a slur that is just like some tongue-clicking noise or something. I mean,
No
I guess
comment.
technically, like a tongue-clicking noise, if done in a derogatory way, is technically a slur for like Ethiopians.
You got to just really avoid that hard.
She called me a hard. No. The new slurs we're teaching him are from Morrowind. Because I'm a Dunmer. Okay, so let's look at Chamber of Conversion. A fairly empty room with a large grating on the floor and a single half-size harmless gnarl wandering around the center. The manic result, our small, harmless gnarl will be grown in size to nearly thrice that of the average Zendilionite. Most we observe run around and attempt to escape the lumbering creature. Eventually it will stop and fade away. The magic of the room is enhanced by the spore gas we pump in through the grating. The demented result is our tiny friend is joined by a small swarm of its brethren and they attack our surprise guests. In the Chamber of Avarice, this one's my favorite one. In this room, a huge mound of treasure sits atop a half ziggurat inside a securely locked cage to which there is no key. The manic result is we drop several hundred keys to the ground that are all exact duplicates. It's amusing to watch Zendilionites scramble through the keys for the correct one. Some spend days. Amazing. Demented result. When the Zendilionite reaches the top of the ziggurat, we blast them with a highly concussive flame spell. The blast always sends them flying. Good fun for all, discounting those that do not survive. The Chamber of Anathema. As you requested, we saved this one for last. The Zendilionite that has the metal to make it this far now faces the toughest challenge of all. This room feels freshly killed corpses, blood, and plenty of hanging bodies. For your darker moods, my lord. The manic result is we kill the Zendilionite and cause a specter of his former self to rise from the body. Not many Zendilionite minds can handle this one. Most go insane this far into the sight. I must confess this room is a favorite of mine. The demented result is nothing better than a good old-fashioned battle. We raise at least double the number of zombies as there are Zendilionites and let them all have at it. Simple, elegant, and deadly. Jonathan said Inwas in Paris. Yes, indeed. Although...
We didn't need this, Batman. Who was in Paris?
As I have stated, Inwa is great. However, for your consideration, Swit. Okay, hang on. How do I tell the difference between the switches? It's like one of them's green and is kind of like almost neutral, and the other one is orange and kind of snarling.
What can I assist?
I don't know, like, because I was gonna say like a brighter one is manic, but then I was like, well, one you described one as neutral-ish, and the other is like.
You'll know you're done, of course. As you. So good to be back in business.
I want to say orange is manic.
I was gonna say I would think that's manic.
Because I seem to remember green being associated with dementia.
Okay, so this is.
Should go back. I'm not sure we should be here.
What in Oblivion is that thing?
The audio is really messing up.
This is one of the horrid guardians of which the stories spoke?
Be careful. There may be more to this creature than meets the eye.
What a joke. Let's be rid of this thing and continue on our way.
Okay, yeah, I chose the right one. Swit is my favorite. Inwa gets like overused a lot. And Fetcher is really good because it's got a really strong. The F and the R are really strong for a slur. Fetcher.
How clever.
Wait, what's wrong with Lewin?
What's another one from Morrowind?
I think this place got to him. Perhaps we should leave.
No. We'll pick him up on the way out. He must fend for himself.
That's the thing I'm trying to remember. Like,
because it's like, and because like swit basically means stupid, if I'm not mistaken.
Watching them run for the giant now gets me every time.
Although some characters in Morrowind will say stupid, but they say it comes out like stupid. Stupid! Alright, this is it. This is my favorite room. This is the one with the keys. So, the orc warrior and the... I can't tell his race from here. I think he's an elf. I think he's
wow, they just all look the same to you, don't they?
Hang on, I'm waiting to hear his voice. Like, I am a Dunmer. I can't be racist. I sent you the chart. I posted the chart.
I don't know. I feel
the
like
funniest
all Dunmer can be as racist.
The funniest thing about that chart is that it's like Nords are only racist towards one race. Or no, two races, sorry. And like I said,
one of them is red guards.
No, Nords are racist towards Dunmer and orcs. But the Dunmer thing is, I think that's only because at the time of Oblivion, Skyrim and Morrowind are at war.
Yes, the Nords are trying to capture Solstheim.
Yeah, so because of that, that's why there's a disposition. Like, if you are a Dunmer talking to a Nord NPC, the Nord has, like, -5 to their disposition towards you. But, it mentions that they are also -5 with orcs. But the thing is, the only race that every race has a -5 disposition with is orcs. Every non-orc race hates orcs. However, because if you look, Nords have a -5 with orcs, they have a -5 with Dunmer, but they have +5 with Nords. Almost every one of them has like +5 or +10 with their own race. Except orcs. Orcs have -5 with every race and have no disposition bonus or negative with their own race.
That actually makes sense. Like that tracks very much for the orc personality. Because like that almost seems like what? Like, do you think that because we're both orcs that I'm going to like you more?
Right.
No chance to defend myself.
It's because the
Why? Impossible.
the whole lore inconsistency on orcs is so funny to me. Because orcs are goblinkin, beast race, and somehow mer. Because the lore is inconsistent.
Well, their name is canonically
Orsimer, right. But it's like they are canonically both mer and beast folk. And then there's supposed to be a whole thing with their like I think orcs are not supposed to be able to mix with other races, but then the Grey Prince disproves that.
Right.
Jonathan said, some of my best friends are orcs, Nord grandma. No,
You've made short work of the intruders.
My best friends growing up was an orc.
Apprentice.
You
Now,
were such
if
a
you'll
nice
step on the
fella.
last teleporter path,
we used to work with a
I'll
nice
reach
green
reception
skin
chamber
boy.
So we can recover your earnings.
Never caused no trouble.
Also, I found out what it is. I don't know that
I'm afraid
D&D 5.5 removed orcs as a player. Sorry, half orcs as a player race. They may have, but they definitely took orcs out of the monster manual.
Right.
The resonator works
But
by drawing
apparently,
to itself.
humans are not in it as...
Sheogorath uses the resonator to find the cream of the crop, as he calls
Like,
it.
I think you can find, like... I need to get that monster manual. I think it has stuff like bandit or pirate or things like that, but it never lists them as human.
Right.
Not to worry. We'll have
I don't know.
this
It's one of those
forward
things that D&D
to the
YouTube's
final
really weird about. But anyway,
Because all of them are like, well, orcs are black people, and it's like, why
As is
black
the
people?
tradition,
Why
you
are
are to be
gods greener?
awarded a focus crystal.
well,
we somehow
I
end
told
up
you,
with orc
I told you that I tried to look that up, and there's no source on that, right?
If you wish to take a look at it.
Like, the source for orcs representing black people is somebody on Tumblr reading that into it.
Right. So it's just source. Doctor, trust me on this, bro.
Source my
It
crack
seems
pipe.
a most unusual weapon was recovered from the orc warrior, Gromok. Never seen anything like it beyond that. You're free to go at any time, of course. Just up.
Okay, but, I'm over encumbered. Because I now have Duskfang.
Yeah.
So, hang on a second. What does Duskfang has Nourish Blade on strike, Frost damage on strike, 13 points. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna leave this up on the stream for a second.
Yeah.
That
Dawn
is
and
a
Duskfang.
Maul sword if I have ever seen it.
Yeah, kind of the point of origin for the paddle swords.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Because it has a really dainty handle and then just like, just cricket bat. So I have 12 Grumite daggers. I don't think I need those. Okay, I'm no longer over encumbered. So I'm sure Jonathan can, my resident Oblivion expert, is it that you get like a certain number of kills with it and it transforms, or
I got this if Jonathan doesn't. So I can.
well, Jonathan will definitely take a minute because there's a little bit of a delay.
Right. So Dawn and Duskfang.
Duskfang has extinguished one life.
But Dawn and Duskfang interchange between one another based on what time of day it is. Dawnfang during the day, Duskfang during the night. When you kill enough enemies with one or the other, the next time it transforms, it will be the superior version. So if you kill enough enemies with Duskfang, it will transform to Dawnfang Superior. And if you kill enough enemies with Dawnfang, it will transform to Duskfang Superior when it changes.
So
the
it
next time it goes day, night, night, day.
So it always changes to the opposite version, but the best version of the opposite version.
Yes. As long as you've made a sufficient kill count with it.
Which is like 20?
What? I think it's 12.
12? Okay. Also, Jonathan said He-Man called. He wants his bejeweled nail clipper back.
I mean, yeah, I don't like it, but you're right.
Also, hang on. If it's 12, that makes sense because 12 hours.
Yep. Nah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's
It's 2:04 a.m., so it's daytime, or is it nighttime?
I think it actually counts on whether the sun is out.
Okay, so I have like 4 hours to kill a bunch of people with this thing. I mean, wait, what? I missed something. I left.
And even better, I think each time it transforms, regardless of whether you got enough kills with it, it will refill its enchantment charge.
Really?
Now, I'm reasonably certain that it does if you get the kills, so it will transform to whatever superior. So, but I believe it does either way. I could be mistaken.
That attraction to the resonator isn't surprising. It was built from. You must proceed to Sheogorath at once.
So I want to point out that our buddy here at Zendilion, he says that the Knights of Order are soulless. As in, like, they are soulless enforcers of law and order. They're cops, is what I'm saying.
What are cops? I'm sorry.
I'm encountering a bit of a bug here where there's a ravenous hunger on my screen that's dead, but it's alive. Okay. Jonathan says, basically on a 12-hour cycle, killing a certain amount of enemies quenches it. What Sam said. Yes, the enchantment recharges. I just remembered, I figured Jonathan would know because he had mentioned, like, always getting this sword.
Yeah, because it's good.
So wait, why is this the sword you get from a new hand touches the beacon. Meridia. Isn't this the sword you get from her quest?
No, that's Dawnbreaker.
Sorry, the two names that sound exactly alike.
Yeah, no, like I didn't know.
No. I'm just saying, like, of course.
Yeah.
All right, I think I just killed 2 enemies. I think I killed 3 inside. Come here, sacrifice yourself to the blade.
All right, Umbra.
The blade has extinguished 6 lives. This would be a good magic item in D&D. Except, I would absolutely make this thing cursed. Like, this thing would be talking to you.
Well, I mean, like,
in
the
your sleep.
downside for it is, like, you don't get the best possible version if you don't kill enough enemies with it, so... It's just one of those...
This one weird trick turns your party into murder hobos.
Cops hate it.
Me approaching the guard in town, and his halberd has a quest marker on it.
Me using my little shark grippy toy to go out the officer service weapon.
No, it's funnier when it's a T-Rex.
I don't know. I feel like either way, you can get a big laugh out of that. I mean, not from the cop, but, you know.
Who cares what they think?
Yeah, but also don't do it if there's a lady cop around. She'll mag dump you while screaming taser.
If you read the note from the orc who had Dawnfang, I think he says the blade is Akaviri.
That actually...
I mean, it has some snake motif to it.
Yeah, and with it, like, hungering for blood, that would definitely make sense.
That's true, I didn't even think about that. There's this, like... vampirism implication with the Akaviri.
Right, yeah. They're like weird snake people?
Well,
that drink blood.
I think it's one of those things where some of them are weird snake people.
And isn't Akaviri like literally frozen in time?
No, that's at Mora. Which is where men come from. And
oh, no, wait.
There's a possibility that the reason why At Mora is frozen in time is because of dragons.
Let's see, it's Akavir where the Nerevarine went on an expedition after Morrowind, and as of Oblivion hadn't been seen or heard since.
Yeah, but that's like Oblivion takes place like 6 years later. Yeah. So, like, how long has the Nerevarine been gone, you know?
Well, I mean, depending on when their last sighting was. Like,
right, but the people in Cyrodiil are talking about it. like it is potentially recent. Like, it's in the last couple of years.
Right.
And it's in the last couple of years that they've gone missing. But, well, also, there's some lore about Akavir where the what are they called? The Imperials. I think this was not Riemann, but actually, Septum Empire. But I'm not. I'll have to look into this. But basically, they launched an expedition, like a military expedition. They were going to, I think, even establish a colony on Akavir, and it was completely failed.
I mean, like, it just seems like the natural outcome for something.
But
like
there is a period in time between I think it's between the Riemann and Septum Empires, where there's a time period called the Interregnum, where there was no empire, and there was no empire, but also there was no, there's also a period of what's called the Akaviri Potentate, where Cyrodiil, or the empire, was run by an Akaviri, like, snake person. But I'm not 100% on the chronology of all of that. Like, I don't know if that was...
Jaeger's barn.
Yeah. So does the sword have to have the enchantment to get the kill? It's not telling me. It's not telling me I've got the kill. Bit confused here.
As in, it has to have charge to...
That's what I'm...
Successfully...
Yeah, that's what... Does it have to have... I used a Varla stone, so let's see. Because I'm not getting the pop-up saying I've got a kill with it. And I've killed a few enemies. So, hang on. Come here, tree person. Oh my gosh. I almost died to this thing because it had no health in its health bar and I stopped swinging. Also, dead enemies are freaking out really hard.
That Havoc engine on that Gabriel on that Unreal.
At a certain point, we can only Theseus this ship so much.
Ma'am. You just peel all the layers back and you're like, Netrunner?
Broke my Morag Tong armor. One Dawn Fang added to the player's inventory.
Yeah.
Dadgummit. That means I wasted that Varla stone. Okay. Let me... Okay. Alright, we gotta get 12 kills. I've just never done this because...
You've not known the joys of being a Dawn Fang, Dusk Fang user.
Well, I'll tell you what, the fire enchantment is working way better on these, Daedra out here.
Oh yeah, no, almost inevitably fire damage ends up being a better enchantment than frost damage.
Well, I know it's... You know, obviously enemies have different weaknesses, but...
Right.
Like, these seem to be weak to fire.
Like, an inordinate number of enemies comparatively are frost resistant. Not even counting, like, of course, amongst, like, human enemies when you're fighting Nords, because, like, well, of course, they're frost resistant.
I don't know. I feel like every bandit I've faced, like, all the humanoid enemies I've faced are either Imperials or Khajiit. Like, I haven't really come across many that I was like, oh yeah, that's the Nord voice actor.
I get a lot of red guards and like high elves.
I saw a guy on Instagram who was using Fury to make Khajiit in the Imperial City attack the guards.
Yeah.
And they were like, another Khajiit just attacks the guards for no reason. It's just like, oh gosh.
Oh man. Although, every now and then I'll be walking around the market district, and a Khajiit will just be bolting somewhere while being chased by a guard. Like, that's a
thief.
That's a man. That's a thief. That's a man that just committed petty larceny.
You know, I just don't think there's moments like that in Skyrim. Now, when you start doing Thieves Guild stuff, you start seeing, like, unnamed Thieves Guild thieves in the cities, like, trying to escape from the guards, and they'll get into like, shootouts with them. And you can't even, like, loot their armor or anything interesting. You just... And they always have, like, a bunch of household junk in their inventories.
Well, yeah, because Khajiit are just kleptomaniacs.
Well, they're not Khajiit. They're never Khajiit.
Oh.
They're humans.
Oh.
I've never seen one that wasn't a human. Because remember, Khajiit aren't allowed in the cities.
Yeah, because they're kleptomaniacs. They don't steal for profit, they steal.
They steal for pleasure?
Not even that, they steal out of compulsion.
Khajiit does not even know why he took this. This isn't even what Khajiit normally steals. It was just there. It was just available.
If Khajiit stop stealing, their voices get louder. Skooma does not quiet them.
Skooma does not pay
Not
for
anymore.
itself.
I mean, unironically, it doesn't. Although, like, Khajiit don't even have to use skooma. They just do moon sugar. They're just over here like, other races can't handle moon sugar, so they make skooma. Then blame us when they are addicted to skooma.
And then the Argonians are like, yo, dog, have you tried tree sap?
I mean, if the trees around me turned me into a super soldier when they needed me to be one, I might be a little more open to tree sap myself.
Okay, those were... I was going to say, I just got into a sword fight with some Knights of Order just on the road. And I'm just like looking around like caveman SpongeBob for the crystals.
The Heart of Order.
Yeah. Okay, let me actually make sure I check both.
But at least their swords look pretty cool, I think.
I've always thought that these guys look cool.
Yeah. Like, they look cool in their blockiness.
Yeah, because it's, like, purposeful. Like, that's exactly how they're supposed to look.
Right.
But isn't there always, like, a Knight of Order, like, wizard? There he is.
Yes.
Hey, come here. There's two more. It's Priest of Order, that's what he is. He just healed. Ugh.
That's why you just keep hitting them. They'll run out of the ability to heal eventually.
Well, the problem is, as a goated Atronak birth sign person with no sorcery potions, I'm gonna be real with you. This sword is not doing it for me. My bow does 27 damage, and it's not even an enchanted bow. Like, when I hit these knights with my bow, their health bars move. Like, at least I can keep them at range like this and not have to close with them. Do you need all of their hearts?
I don't remember.
That's the thing, is like, I can't... Will you die? Gosh. Hate the... He got back up! The priest got back up!
Just, I didn't hear a bell.
Oh my gosh. I think you have to actually interact with the thing to kill the priest. It's been too long since I played this. And I also, like, speed ran it. Stop summoning Knights of Order! Here, Hunger, you deal with that.
Stop spawning backup dancers. That's when you summon a Zavali and just have him show them what's good.
I might as well at this point.
And the Zavali will summon a Daedroth, and the Daedroth will summon a Spider Daedra. And the Spider Daedra will summon a Spiderling Daedra.
Okay, you have to place multiple parts in the thing. Okay, yeah, this is frankly kind of ridiculous because there are 3 Knights of Order and then other Daedra just all chasing me and not fighting each other. My marksman increased. Oh, they don't know. I'm playing on Remaster. I got Sprint. This hunger is gonna kill me because it's... I'm not having a good time.
They don't know that I've enchanted all of my equipment with Chameleon.
Oh my gosh, die! Oh my gosh! For real, unironically, die!
Fatback Cave. That is a name for a location, alright? And it's on that note that I think I am gonna go Betty by times.
I don't think you will. I think you're just gonna talk about it. I think you're gonna say, I need to go to bed, and then talk to me rapidly for 2 hours.
No.
Literally ask me, are you familiar with this thing? Me say yes, and then you immediately start explaining it in detail.
That doesn't happen.
It absolutely happened the other night.
No.
Finally.
No.
Finally! Let me get my arrows back here.
Someone let you out of your cage?
Oh, Sam. Sam. This Knight of Order has, like, he has human hair that's clipping through the back of his helmet.
Heck yeah.
Immaculate Order sword.
Well, I did thee
Jeez.
fare thee well.
I fare thee bid well.
Oh, well.
True to Kaisar. Alright, I don't even know why I'm walking when I can... Why walk when you can ride? Why walk when you can ride? Honestly, I've been streaming for 3 hours. I haven't made a ton of progress, I know, because I've been faffing about. Oh, look! Oh, this is so nice. Look at this. The game's running in a higher frame rate now. I have no idea if Sam actually left. It's like the Discord overlay is broken again. Alright, I'm going to turn this quest in. And then I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to start streaming earlier tomorrow, because I have less to do tomorrow. And I'll stream much longer and try to make more progress.
Well now, what news do you have to report?
And I'll focus a little bit more on what's going on in the game. I was attacked by knights.
So soon? Not a surprise, I suppose. We'll get to that later. No need to burden your little brain with it now. And Zedilian, since you're standing here, I assume you've succeeded. Or you're terribly confused, or really lacking in good judgment.
It functions once more.
Wonderful! Time for a celebration! Cheese for everyone! Wait, scratch that. Cheese for no one. That can be just as much of a celebration if you don't like cheese, true? You've run a maze like a good little rat. But no cheese for you yet. Oh, well, maybe a little. I've granted you a new spell. The ability to summon Haskell, my Chamberlain, to aid you in your travels. He knows a lot. More than he knows.
He knows a lot more than he knows.
Summon our friend to you now. I'll wait.
Always a pleasure.
Alright. Let's see.
Our Lord has granted you the power to summon me. How wonderful for me. When summoned, I can offer advice on your current endeavor. I imagine it's up to you what to do with my wisdom. Do try to use your power sparingly. I have duties to which I must attend. Rather more important than shepherding you around, I'm sure.
Isn't that a hoot? I love it myself. Best part of being a Daedric prince, really. Go ahead. Try it again. He loves it.
He tells me to do it, and it's like he's been summoned to recently.
Just one more time. At least. He's a sport.
Summoned again. My lord does so enjoy that, as is his prerogative. I'll assume you're done for now.
Good, good. You'll need all the help you can get if you're going to defeat Jiggalag and stop the Grey March. Oh,
Grey
don't
March.
expect to summon dear Haskell anywhere but in the realm. He dislikes leaving my presence. I get that sometimes.
So who's Jiggalag?
The Daedric Prince of Order. Or biscuits. No, order. Yeah. And not in a good way. Bleak. Colorless. Dead. Boring. And not a fan of my work, I can tell you. Hates it. Hates me. A bit single-minded, if you take my meaning. You've seen his knights. Not the warm and cuddly sort. Not a bit of original thought in their lifeless husks. So, you're going to help me stop him.
Me? How?
Again with the niggling little details. Hold your tongue, or I will. We'll get to that all in due time. For now, you've got other work to do.
What is the Grey March?
An event, a movement, an apocalypse of sorts. Happens every era, at the end of every era, which is to say, now. The Grey March comes and Jiggalag walks. Or runs. Never skits, sidles, or struts. Mostly he just destroys everything around him.
What would you ask of me now?
Ask? Ask? I don't ask! I tell! This is my realm, remember? My creation, my place, my rules! Look at you! No concept of what you've stumbled into. No sense of place. You don't even really know where you are, do you? I suppose few really do, but that's beside the point. We're going to give you a taste of where you found yourself. You're going to learn.
Learn? Learn what?
Two halves, two rulers, two places. Meet and greet. Do what they will, so you know what they're about. The Duke of Mania and the Duchess of Dementia. Seek them out and let them show you what New Sheoth is. You might be surprised. Once you understand what my realm is, you might understand why it's important to keep it intact. And maybe you'll make some friends along the way. That's always nice.
Alright, we're pretty much... yeah, I don't know how... I'm gonna have to look up a achievement guide to make sure I know when to set my hard save so that I can get both achievements, but yeah, I'm glad you could hang out too. Good night to you as well. Everybody be good nighting. Like I said, this is a good place for me to end the stream after this conversation here with the Prince of Madness.
The Duchess of Dementia. Ever wary, ever worried. A prisoner in her own house in a way. And a delightful conversationist, really. A bit harder to meet than Théoden. Consider making an appointment. The long-reigning Duke of Mania. A master of merriment, if you will. Or if you won't. I suspect it wouldn't matter to him. Seen them about, have you? Odd things. They've always been here, but they're not of here, if you take my meaning. You'll see those Knights of Order around them during the Grey March. Drawn to them like flies to honey, or rotting flesh. Ever wonder why flies like both? Best not to ask. Another Daedric prince. Not a nice one. I don't think any of the other princes like him, actually. I mean, Malakath is more popular at parties. And Malakath is not popular at parties. It's Jiggalag's time, and not a good time at all. You're going to help me stop it. First, though, you need to get your feet wet. I can't expect it to save the place if you don't even understand it. So speak to my dukes, learn about mania and dementia. Try not to die. Ta, come visit again, or I'll pluck out your eyes.
Good old Sheogorath. Okay, so yeah, that's a good place for me to end it tonight. Tomorrow when I come back, I'll focus on kind of the main quest here. We'll pick up some side quests as I find them. Off stream, I will go ahead and sell some of the stuff I've picked up, clear out my inventory, do those kinds of things. But other than that, yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me here tonight as me and my friends hang out and just kind of be silly old men about video games. Yeah, I recently made some YouTube shorts. Go check those out. I'll probably start making shorts out of clips that I think are funny of my streams or from my videos or whatever. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will see you on the next one, which will likely be tomorrow, starting earlier than I did today. and I'll be back with the Shivering Isles.